Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the New River Network's coverage of Oak Hill High School football. Lucas Berry and Chris Rader here. And Chris, this is a game that is what high school football is all about. It's Oak Hill, Woodrow. They don't like each other. Both are playing for playoff seeding right now. And on top of that, Oak Hill starting quarterback was at Woodrow last year when Oak Hill went over there and beat him in their own territory, beat him in their home stadium. Now Woodrow comes back here. What a game we've got tonight.
Yeah, there should be a lot of emotion here tonight. Like you mentioned, Devin Richardson was the Beckley quarterback last year. He's Oak Hill quarterback this year. And I actually think that's one of the real keys to the game is him keeping his emotions in check, because you definitely want to play with intensity and emotion, but you don't want that to spill over into stupidity, and that's especially true for your quarterback. If anybody's going to keep their head, you want Devin to keep his head. I guarantee you his blood pressure's up. He wants to beat his old teammates, but he's also got to play within himself.
Absolutely, and I was doing some little bit of research before the game. These are two teams that if you look at it on paper, and of course the game is not played on paper, it's played on the field, they're very similar. Both teams are averaging about in the mid-20s a game, only give up about 14. So historically, at least this season, they're almost a mirror image of each other. They want to be physical.
Well, I was looking at common opponents, and I don't think common opponents can always dictate how the game's going to go, but sometimes I think it can give you a gauge. And I was looking earlier this week, Woodrow and Oak Hill have played 4 common opponents this year, Bluefield, Greenbrier East, Riverside, and Princeton. They're each 3-1 against those opponents, but I will say this. Beckley, if you go game by game, has beaten those opponents much more in a much bigger margin than Oak Hill has. So, again, you take that for what it's worth. I think this is going to be a really competitive game tonight. Beckley's out for revenge. We did that game last year. Oak Hill knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Beckley is out for – they're not used to losing to Oak Hill. They don't like losing to Oak Hill, and they don't want to make a habit of losing to Oak Hill. So they're coming over here tonight looking to get a victory.
Not to mention, here's the thing. Beckley's in Quad A because there are 16 schools in that class. They will be a playoff team. So right now you're only fighting for seeding and the biggest motivator of all, pride.
That's exactly right. And for Oak Hill, it's kind of deja vu. We came into the game last year. We were talking about Oak Hill trying to get a home playoff game. It's the same story this year. Now, I will say they're in a little better position. They come into tonight ranked 7th in AAA. Last year they came in ranked 11th, so they already have their foot in the door a little bit. But Oak Hill desperately wants a home playoff game. It eluded them last year. They're hoping to take that next step this year. And the game tonight against Beckley and the game next week against University will go a long way in deciding whether or not they get to host a playoff game here at John P. Duda Stadium.
Well, we don't know if we're going to be back here for that, but we do know this is senior night, and that's always a very special occasion. So you add that on top of the already loaded atmosphere that is this game, when it really provides what we think is going to be a great football game.
No, like we said, there's you add senior night to it. There's already a lot of emotion. The teams, like you said, a lot of them know each other. They probably like each other, but they really want to beat each other. And in this day and age with social media, the kids can kind of talk smack over their phones. I think each of these schools have Barstool accounts now, and I know Barstool accounts have become really popular in local high schools, and that's the way the kids will kind of talk smack to each other. I was talking to Brad Compton earlier this week, and he said he told Devin, he said, you really need to turn off your phone, just turn off social media. Now, that's kind of like telling a kid, hey, just don't breathe for 3 or 4 days.
Right.
So it's easy for Brad to say that. I don't know if Devin heeded his advice or not, but I guarantee you both of these teams are ready to play tonight, and they're ready to beat each other.
Captains have just come back from the coin toss, Oak Hill, and really, I like this uniform combination with the red helmet, the white, the black on black. Woodrow, of course, in the all white on the road with the maroon numbers.
So, Lucas, I'll give you a little pregame breakdown, and hopefully Beckley won't make a liar out of me. They did last year. Traditionally, this year, Beckley has come out and they run a double-wing offense. It's an old-school offense. It's been around 100 years. Don't mistake old for being ineffective, though. Old offenses can be very effective, and Beckley's had a really good year running that double wing, and that's what we're expecting. Oak Hill's got to hold up against that rushing attack. Now, I said the exact same thing before last year's game, and Beckley came out and threw the ball more than they had thrown it all year. So we'll see. I don't know. It's also kind of a mystery this late in the season. We don't know who Beckley's starting quarterback's going to be. It's either going to be Gage Price or Gage Burdett. And I was talking to one of the radio guys, and he said, we don't even know that. He said they've kind of kept it under wraps. So we don't know who's going to be the quarterback till they take the field tonight. But another key to the game tonight, I think Oak Hill's going to have to hold up against that double wing formation. It's something that you honestly don't see a lot these days. Most of the teams Oak Hill's played run similar offenses to what Oak Hill runs. They run out of 10 personnel, a lot of single back, no tight end, or 11 personnel, single back, one tight end. Beckley's base offense is 32 personnel. That's 3 backs and 2 tight ends. No one does that anymore. That's unheard of to have to play a game against 32 personnel, but that's their base offense. So it's going to be a unique test for Oak Hill tonight, something they really haven't seen yet.
I want not to draw comparisons, but it's almost like going up against a service academy after playing Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss.
No, that's honestly a good comparison. You don't see this offense a lot anymore, so it is something Oak Hill's going to have to be prepared for and hold up against this rushing attack. And Beckley's got good size across the line, too. So they're going to have their hands full with the Flying Eagles here tonight.
We're going to find out how that goes. We're going to have to wait a second as Oak Hill is going to receive the opening kick. Beckley will be kicking off from left to right on your screen.
And Lucas, there's nothing the Devils would like to do better than get this ball, chew some time off the clock, go straight down the field, and gain a lead. Because Beckley, with that offense, they're really not built to come back. They're more in their element if they're playing with the lead. So if they fall down early, that plays in Oak Hill's favor.
I thought you were going to bring up. I was at the first game when this series was due back in 2013, and Oak Hill took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, completely changed that game. And they won't do it here as they'll be falling on at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was Owen Gross who fell on it. Now, if you're a Beckley fan and you're tuning in tonight, you might remember the name Gross. Owen's dad was Chris Gross, who was a fantastic football player for Beckley back in the early 90s. He was All-State, continued his career at Marshall. So if you hear the name Owen Gross tonight, if you're a Beckley fan, that's Chris Gross's son.
So we'll see what the Red Devils have cooked up here on offense to begin from the 31-yard line. Trips to the near side, one way out wide, single setback in the backfield with Devin Richardson. And we got some movement. We'll see where they call this.
I think James Ludwig, our right tackle there, who looks like he's wearing a different number now. He's wearing number 54. But he jumped, and you don't want that, so that puts him behind the sticks right off the bat, 1st and 15. And Lucas, I was watching some of the game from last year. Last year, Beckley ran a lot of 5-man fronts against Oak Hill, and then they had 2 linebackers blitzing behind that. They were really aggressive with their front last year, so I'm anxious to see if they employ that same strategy here.
Richardson takes the snap. Handoff goes to J.D. Moritz. He will take it up for about a yard or so, call it 2nd and 14.
Now, I can tell you on that first play right there, Beckley has 2 guys lined up right over Oak Hill center. So they're lining up 2 guys right over the top of the Oak Hill center. That's kind of unusual front, so Oak Hill might have to adjust to that. I haven't seen that this year. They're going with a 4-man front, but 2 of them, as you can see, they're lined up right in the middle there.
Going after the A-gap. Here's the snap. Again a handoff. J.D. Moritz will bounce to the outside, try to anyway, and he'll get stuffed down for a no gain or a loss. You don't see that very often.
Now, that was a nice play in that time by number 16, Gage Burdett. And again, he may end up being the starting quarterback tonight. He made that play from his linebacker position, and Oak Hill not where they want to be here in 3rd and long. I think it's 3rd and 16. Line makes 41 so, yeah. Here, Lucas. Beckley showing pressure. They're coming.
Richardson gets rid of it. Nearly intercepted there. That was number 5 for the Flying Eagles.
Yeah, it was A.J. Thomas from his free safety position. You're right. He was just playing center field that time. He was trying to hit Armani Hicks down the field, but A.J. Thomas did a nice job of reading his eyes, and he's lucky that pass wasn't picked off.
So Oak Hill will be forced to punt on the opening possession of the game. And they killed a minute 13.
Well, this has been an adventure at different times for Oak Hill this year.
Kick is away. And it'll bounce at about the 50. Got it bounce. I think they're going to mark it at the 48.
Yeah, not a great start for Oak Hill. 3 and out, and then they get a short punt, so Beckley's going to take over in Oak Hill territory. So, again, we'll see if they come out in that double wing formation and see if Oak Hill can hold up against this vaunted Beckley ground game. And I'll tell you what, if you go across the line, Keandre Good, 6'3", 300. Gavin Milam, 6 foot 260. Isaac Lambert, 5'11", 223. Jamarcus Mann, 6'4", 270. And Tyrez Jones, 6'4", 319. Those are big kids.
Gage Price, number 1, is the starting quarterback for the Flying Eagles. He looks over to his sideline for instructions, takes the snap. It is a handoff. That goes to number 22.
That's Bryce Ford.
Bryce Ford, yes.
And I was talking again, I was telling about that double wing. They come out in a different formation. We'll see. Beckley likes to make a fool of me. But they will jump into that at various points tonight.
You got a lot of experience on that coaching staff. They're not afraid to change things up a bit.
No, they'll come out in different looks. But again, they're going twins to the left, 3 receivers set here, and 1 wing to the right.
Handoff. That goes to number 17, Jacob Reeves.
So really nice play by Jasper Newman in the interior. He kind of blew it up, and then Cade Compton came over from his linebacker position to finish it off. But nice job that time by the Oak Hill front. This is where you want to keep Beckley. You want to keep them in 3rd and long situations off schedule. They don't like to put the ball up. So if you can keep them in 3rd and long, that's a win for Oak Hill.
We'll say this is 3rd and 8. Ball resting at the 46-yard line. Line to gain is a 38. Here's the snap. They'll put it up. Pass is going to be caught short of first down yardage. And that'll be 4th down and, let's say, 2.
It was a nice job by Z. Lewis. He didn't give up anything after the catch. He was able to hold him short. Now, this is going to be 4-down territory. And it looks like Beckley's bringing in their bigger package. And Oak Hill's responding to that by bringing in Derek Sullivan. So Oak Hill's seeing that substitution and making substitutions of their own. They're going to try to match their size as much as they can. And they are.
Here's the snap. It's a handoff.
Boy, it's going to be close. I don't know if he got it or not. That's going to where they're marking it. I think they're going to give it to him.
I think so too.
That is really close. That was Connor Ray taking the handoff. I would measure that. They never measure anything anymore. They eyeball everything. I think they finally
are going to measure.
They are going to measure it. That's going to be really close.
From the naked eye, I thought he may have gotten it, but I would also not be surprised if they ruled it short.
Yeah, I thought he may have gotten it too, but they're going to bring those sticks out. If he got it, he didn't get it by much. That was really close. He's short.
He's short.
Nice job by the Oak Hill defense. They get their own 3 and out. You and I showing our old man eyes. I thought he got it from the naked eye, but he didn't. So nice job by the Oak Hill defense to hold up and get their own 3 and out there.
That little just final adjustment of the chains is all we needed.
Yeah. 1 extra link. So, Lucas, last week, Devin Richardson may have had his best game as a quarterback for the Devils. He did a really nice job of finding intermediate routes. They'd really been working with him on not just looking deep, but trying to find receivers in that 10 to 12-yard window, and he did a great job of doing that, making big plays for the Devils last week.
Richardson takes the snap. Screen out here to the near side. It'll be in the 41.
So they had
Owen Gross out there.
They had a good play call against the blitz that Beckley brought. Armani Hicks got a nice little block out there to give him a few yards, but still, Beckley held it to a relatively short gain, 4-yard gain. So that's one of those Oak Hill will take it, but Beckley will live with it too.
2nd down 6 here for the Devils. Ball spotted on the 42-yard line.
But again, just like last year, I'm seeing Beckley being aggressive with those linebackers. They're walking them up and they're shooting gaps.
Ritz takes the handoff. He will dive across the 45, get near the first down.
Yeah, he's going to be really close to a first down there.
I think he's going to be a half-yard short. He's 3rd and about a half-yard.
Jasper Newman, the right guard, did a nice job to come out and kick out his man to give J.D. a little lane there. They are going to say that's just short, and I mean that's a cat's whisker short. They got a 2-back set in here. Let's see what they do here.
Twins to the far side, single receiver to our side. Handoff is to Moritz. He gains the 50. He's got a first down. He's still chucking. And he'll be brought down at about the Woodrow 48-yard line.
I like that two-box set. He followed Tyler Ashmore up through there. That kind of evens up the blocking numbers a little bit when you go two-back. You can also even up the blocking numbers if you go QB run, which Oak Hill had a lot of success against Woodrow last year with the QB run. So I'm anxious to see if they try to dial up some of that tonight too.
Stack receivers to each side. Single setback in the backfield. Handoff. The middle. Moritz will dive to the 46.
So, again, they're trying to run a little trap there. Jasper Newman from his right guard position is trying to come over there and get a block on that defensive end while the left side of the line is trying to block down. But, again, Beckley did a pretty nice job defending that, hold it to a relatively short 2-yard gain. Beckley right now is staying in a 4-man front. I would not be surprised if at some point they go to a 5-man front. They did that a lot last year. And a lot of teams have done that to Oak Hill this year, too. And, in fact, they're doing that right now.
Richardson faked me as Moritz carries it to the 35. Well, congratulations, son. You fooled the play-by-play.
Yeah, J.D. did a nice job of just sidestep on the tackle right in the interior of the line that time. Showed some nimble feet that time for a 220-pound running back and was able to get a nice gain down to the 36. Nice job by J.D. that time.
It'll be 1st and 10 Oak Hill from the 36-yard line.
Cheap shot, ref gonna have to call there.
Trips to the near side. Solo out wide. Handoff is to Ritz again. The flag comes down.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty on Connor Ray. So on that zone read that time, Connor Ray came in and took a shot at Devin Richardson. And the assistant coach, Lamont Lynch, was beside me the play before calling for that. And I will tell you this. I heard beforehand that Oak Hill was going to alert the refs. They felt like Beckley takes some liberties with quarterbacks on zone reads. And they got the ref's attention, and that time they got 15 yards out of it.
And with that, an automatic first down. So that ball was spotted at the 20-yard line.
And again, like I said, you got to keep emotions in check here. And we've already seen a 15-yard penalty. But again, I will tell you, Brad Compton told me they were going to alert the refs. They thought that Beckley did that quite a bit in the film that they watched. They'd take some shots on quarterbacks after they'd hand it off on a zone read.
Richardson drops the throw. Flushing the pocket out to the far side. He'll run to his right. And he'll slide down at about the 18-yard line. Two-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, he gave himself up. And again, there was a little bit of contact after he gave himself up. So again, Beckley's going to have to watch that. There arguably could have been a flag that time too, but they kept it in their pocket. And I don't have a problem with that, but that was right on the edge. Tyler Ashmore's going to check back in for Owen Gross. It looks like Oak Hill's going to go back to that two-back set here.
They are indeed. Snap us back. It's a handoff. Moritz, he'll gain the 15. Gain the 10. Diving across the 5.
JD is showing some really nifty moves there for a guy that kind of belies his size there. He's showing some really nimble feet that time, eluding tacklers in a phone booth and getting a nice gain that time. It's going to put it up 1st and goal. Oak Hill's run game is going right now. They got something cooking.
They're putting at the 7. And we have a whistle on the field, a timeout taken by Beckley. Here with 5:36 to go, opening quarter. I say what, let's take a look. You're watching Oak Hill High School football on the New River Network. And we are back here as is Oak Hill's possession. First and goal at the 7-yard line.
And Beckley has went to a 5-man front now.
Ritz cuts it back from the near side. He'll gain the 5. He gains the goal line. Touchdown, Oak Hill.
Not only great vision and a great run by J.D. Moritz, he got a great block over there from Carson Treadway, who was able to set the edge and just seal that cornerback off. And that's why J.D. was able to get in the end zone. J.D., I mean, he looks great tonight.
And Chris, that is exactly what you said. Not the first possession, sure, but they killed clock and they got Woodrow down.
Yeah, you want to keep, this is where you want to keep Beckley. If Beckley's playing from behind, that's an uncomfortable position from them because they just don't have the pass game to really climb back in games. Now, again, this is just a one-possession game,
right,
but still you want to keep them uncomfortable like that.
Extra point is up, and that kick is good. So with 5:29 to go here in the first quarter, Oak Hill has jumped out to an early 7-0 lead over the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles.
I want to give credit to the Oak Hill offensive line, too, because I tell you what, the Oak Hill running game has been sporadic this year. It's been up and down, hasn't been as consistent as it was last year. So I want to give credit to guys like James Ludwig and Jasper Newman and Jeremy Lewis and Tyler Kincaid and Derek Sullivan, man. They did a really nice job that time, and they really opened up some holes for JD, and the ground game looked good in that second possession that time.
So now we get to see how this Woodrow offense adjusts, if they do, to what they saw from Oak Hill's defense trying to adjust to what they wanted to do.
Well, again, Beckley came out in that first possession, and I was talking about them running their double wing. They only got in that formation one time, and that was on the 4th down. And that is usually what they like to do, is get in that double wing set and just kind of pound it at you. And they didn't do that as much in that first possession against Oak Hill.
Elisha Jones has it on the tee. He's ready to go. Kick is on the ground to be fielded about the 30-yard line, taken out to the 40, still going to the 45. It's about the 46, 47-yard line, so good return there for Beckley.
Now we got a flag, too, so we got a flag behind the play. Let's see what this is. That looked like it came afterwards, after the play was over, so I'm guessing this is going to be a personal foul one way or the other. That's offsetting. So that might be the ref's way of trying to get the game under control here early. Call offsetting fouls and just say, fellas, we're not putting up with it tonight.
Yep.
You better get under. We're not putting up with any cheap shots behind the play. Get it under control, or we'll throw you out of here. And I don't blame them.
No.
Because there is a lot of emotion here tonight, and the refs know that. And again, they're coming out in a 4-receiver set.
Here's the snap. Try a little screen out wide. Cutting back across the 50. Being corralled down by a whole host of Red Devils. And that was number 6 for Beckley.
I think that was number 5, A.J. Thomas, actually. And then I think Mikey Spike was in on the tackle. But that's a nice little first down gain for the Flying Eagles. That's second and, what are we looking at, about 5 here? So that's
something
nice,
like that, yeah.
That's a nice little first down game for the Flying Eagles.
Like you said, old man eyes. 5 looks like a 6 to me.
So it's 2nd and 5 that, that you can... You're on schedule, which is what Beckley wants to do, is stay on schedule. And 5 yards does that for you. Because
again, they come out with 4 wide set. Gage Price will hand it off. And that's going to be a gain of about 2. You'll live in 3rd and 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice job by Derek Sullivan that time in the interior of the line. And he had some of his buddies come help finish him off. But Derek Sullivan was able to hold up and hold that to a minimal gain that time for Oak Hill.
So we'll see if Woodrow wants to go in their normal package on a short 3rd and 3. You'd have to think this is 4-down territory.
Yes, you definitely would. They're in the plus 50. They're already down. This is definitely 4-down territory. And again, they're coming out of 4-receiver set here. Here's
the snap. It's a little pitch out to the far side. First down and more for Connor Ray.
Yeah, nice little quick pitch out there to the wide side. They were able to get just outside of James Ludwig. He couldn't quite set the edge that time. Got a nice gain out of it. That moves the sticks for Beckley. So Derek Sullivan's going to check out. Luke Endicott's going to check in. Oak Hill's going with their smaller package here. Of course, Beckley's going with the 4-receiver set.
Then comes in motion across the formation, and the flag is down.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on big number 55 there for Beckley. It's Keandre Good, 6'3", 300-pound right tackle. He just came out of his stance that time. And again, I talked about staying on schedule. That throws Beckley off schedule now, put him at 1st and 15.
And with the newfound passing attack, that might not be as big of an issue. Maybe not. Twins to each side once again. Little screen out. Deflected. And they're going to say that's an incomplete pass.
Well, Oak Hill read it. J.D. Moritz read that the whole way. And he led his running back right into J.D. Moritz. But Oak Hill was all over that. They motioned the running back out before the snap. And Oak Hill was smelling out that little swing pass out to the right. And J.D. Moritz was right there. He almost picked it off, actually. Nice job by the Oak Hill defense.
I thought for a second that was going the other way.
Yeah, Oak Hill was all over that. And J.D. in particular, instead of rushing the passer, when the running back motioned out, he kind of scraped out to defend that.
2nd and 15 here for Woodrow as they bring another man across the formation. Drops the throw. Pass is going to be nearly intercepted. Deflected.
Yeah, threw it in a lot of traffic. Carson Treadway that time from his free safety position did a nice job of breaking that up. Now, Beckley showed some pre-snap motion that time, too, and Oak Hill didn't have a man follow him across the formation. So that kind of signals to me Oak Hill's playing a zone, and he tried to fit it in a tight window in that zone that time and just couldn't do it.
So Woodrow very much behind schedule here on 3rd and 15. They need the 29. They're at the 44. Dropping back to throw. All day to do it. Chase down from behind. Evading, and now he'll be sacked. That might go for a no gain, but either way, it's going to be 4th down and a long 15.
And the thing is, Gage Price had time. That's a coverage sack. The secondary, I was looking downfield, secondary had the routes covered up pretty well. James Ludwig was finally able to get pressure on that time on the Price and bring him down for a no gain.
4th and 15 here, and it looks like Woodrow's lining up to punt the ball away. Snap is back. Punt is away. It's a pretty good kick. And that's going to roll down to the... It was fielded somewhere.
Well, I got to tell you, man, Carson just needs to stay away from that.
Yeah.
He was trying to block a Beckley guy from getting it, and in the meantime, he got way too close to the ball and then just picked it up. Carson just needs to completely get away from that because you're flirting with disaster when you do that.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Lucas, this is 2 years in a row that I think the Oak Hill coaching staff has anticipated Beckley coming out in that double wing set trying to pound it, and they're coming out, in 3 and 4 wide and trying to throw it with not a lot of success.
No.
They're getting away from what they've done all year to get to a 5-3 record. So again, Oak Hill's in that 2-box set. Beckley's in that 4-man front.
Richardson from his end zone will hand it off. And guess who? That's J.D. Moritz. He'll get it across the 10, down to the 15, still going out near the 20.
This is the best I've seen J.D. Moritz look all year. This is what we saw a lot last year, and the sledding has been tougher for J.D. this year. It really has. Oak Hill's had to break in 3 new offensive linemen. He hasn't had the room, but I tell you what, man, not only is he making nifty moves in the interior, that time he did what we're used to seeing him do, just drag tacklers. This is the best I've seen J.D. Moritz look.
In that play, he gets his offense a little bit of breathing room out from the shadow of their own, not even the shadow, behind their own goal line.
So Beckley now is going to a 5-man front to try to offset that run game.
And there's that, too, you talked about. hanging over the A-gap. Here is the handoff. And that's going to be a good chunk of yardage there. It'll be
that's a solid 5 yard. I mean, I think that's a solid 5 yards there for Tyler Ashmore, though. So I got to tell you, man, this right now, Lucas, this is as good as the Oak Hill run game has looked in a few weeks. It really is. And I'm a little surprised given Beckley's size. I didn't know if Oak Hill could run it as effectively as they are so far. And that was against a 5-man front. And they're staying in that 5-man front.
Oak Hill staying in that 2-back formation, as we've seen so far tonight. Here is the handoff. Moritz will bounce it off. He'll get to about the 30. That should be enough for a first down.
And again, JD's just showing really good vision. He's showing nifty moves right there in the interior. I mean, JD is getting some of this on his own, man. He looks really good early in the game.
And they are going to say,
yeah,
move it. It's first down.
The sticks.
Fellas, if we're going to do this, might want to move those sticks. There we go. 1:35 to go, opening quarter. Here is the handoff once again. Big gain here down near the 43.
And then that time, you give JD a blow, then you put in James Green, who's a different type back, and he scored it through there quick as a whistle, got 13 yards. And, man, Oak Hill has Beckley on skates right now with that run game. They really do. And it's against a 4-man front, a 5-man front. So far, Beckley really hasn't shown they have an answer for it. They're staying in that 5-man front right now.
Handoff. No, it's a fake. Vickerson's got the 50. He's got the 40, the 30, 20, 15, 10, inside the 5, down at the goal, down at the 1-yard line. No, they're going to say down at the 4.
Fantastic call. We've just seen Oak Hill just chewing them up in the interior, and they set that up perfectly. When that inside run game is working, then you set up. I'm going for Devin to pull it, get out on the edge that time. Great play call that time from Oak Hill. Great execution by the players, too.
First and goal from the 4 for Oak Hill, trying to open up a 2-score lead on Beckley here early in the game. 1:05 to go, in fact, first quarter. Richardson will hand it off to James Green. Green will bounce across the... They're going to say he did not gain anything. That's still going to be at the 4.
Yeah, it was Bryce Ford from his linebacker position that time making a nice tackle. Oak Hill ran looked like maybe a little outside zone that time. Looked like the linemen were stepping in unison to the right, but Ford was able to shut that off before James could get going.
Here is the handoff once again. JD. And again, no gain.
And again, that was Ford. He was helped out that time by Jacob Reeves and Keandre Good. So Beckley bowing up here a little bit after being in the 1st and goal situation. 2 straight plays with no gain. So we're looking at 3rd and goal from the 4. And, of course, I think you have 2 plays to get this. I think Oak Hill's going to be aggressive here and try to get in the end zone. They're not thinking field goal down here.
Not only that, but they've got 2 plays in the second quarter as the time of the first quarter is going to run down. So after 1, it's 7-0 Oak Hill. They're knocking on the door trying to make this a 2-score game. We shall return on the Nerve Network to see if they can right after this. And we are back here at Tom M. Mason Red Devil Field at John P. Duda Stadium. And we have ourselves an interesting development. Oak Hill is down at the Woodrow 4-yard line trying to make it a 2-score game. Lucas Berry, Chris Rader here with you. And Chris, we talked about this earlier in the game. Getting Woodrow down a 2-score game would very much be not where Woodrow wants to live tonight.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that puts them in an uncomfortable position. They don't want to play from behind here. Oak Hill has a real chance to do that. But they got to finish off the drive. They got down here first and goal and haven't been able to do anything since then.
They've been in that 2-back set with 2 receivers out. It'll be a Richardson keep. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Hill.
Yeah, and that's a nice adjustment that time.
Come on, man.
Well,
and we've got more flags found the play.
So the touchdown should stand. I think that came after the play.
Come on, man.
That's a nice adjustment from Oak Hill, too, in the 2-back set. And that time, you've been killing them with JD, but used the box as the lead blockers. Devlin's able to get out on the edge and get the score. So great start here for Oak Hill tonight. But I do think we're going to have a penalty.
I think we've got more than one penalty. This almost seems like it's going to be maybe another offsetting. Maybe. There were a lot of flags that came in.
Great job, guys.
They're going to have to announce it before they kick it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's actually on Beckley.
Huh. Well.
So that's going to be enforced on the kickoff. So Oak Hill should be able to kick off from Beckley's 45 now.
Well, we got one of the officials running in to tell the referee something.
And that's already 3 personal fouls that the refs have called in the game. 2 on Beckley and then 1 offsetting.
Looks like he's going over to...
Yeah, Chad Surratt wants an explanation on that. So I swear it sounded like he said holding.
That's what I thought too.
And there's no way that holding would be penalized on the ensuing kickoff. That would bring the whole play back. So
right.
They flubbed that.
Yeah, and we've got more
whistles. Are still so. Officials not having their best moment right here.
No.
They need to get together and decide what they want to do here, because there's no way that was a hold. That would negate the touchdown.
It sounded like he said hold after the play, which is impossible.
I thought he said hold after the play, which that's a new one on me.
Yeah.
I know rules change, but I don't know how you get a hold after the play.
Is that what it is?
Well, whatever it is, they're lining up to do it again, so.
What? That's what I'm talking about, Jag. What you want doing, young fella?
Kick is up. It's on the way. It's blocked. So it remains 13-0 Oak Hill.
Jag, Workman.
So Oak Hill put in a new kicker that time for the extra point, Jag Workman. And like you said, he had it blocked. So that's going to keep it at 13-0. There was so much happening on that extra point. I couldn't keep up with it.
No. Yeah.
Oak Hill put in a new kicker. The refs were calling holding after the play, which I have no idea what that's all about. So they're going to kick off from the 40. My best guess on all of this was that was probably offsetting personal fouls. And after all that, it's going to be meaningless, and Oak Hill's going to kick off from the 40-yard line.
I was looking at a replay that we got over here on the big control rack, and I didn't see much. If it didn't happen during the play, well, it certainly was not after.
Well, the explanation was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not picking on the ref, but the explanation was terrible. When you say holding after the play will be enforced on the kickoff, you're just going to confuse everybody.
And here's the thing, that kickoff is still in the exact same spot.
Yeah,
still at the 40.
And now they're
backing it up.
Just bonkers. Honestly, just bonkers. So
they're backing all the way up to the 25.
I guess the personal foul after all of that they initially called on Beckley was truly on Oak Hill, which was what I thought happened in the corner of the end zone at the onset. So I guess the personal foul was on Oak Hill. So unfortunately, this is going to give Beckley really good field position since they have to kick off from the 25.
Is it a full moon tonight, Chris?
Oh, wow.
Weird things happening at John
Yeah.
P. Duda, that's for sure.
They gacked that one.
Kick is going to be on the ground, boom, to about the 41. Taken across the 50, down to the 44 of Oak Hill. So great starting field position here for Beckley. 10 seconds gone, second quarter.
Yeah, Luke Endicott that time in on the tackle. So again, unfortunately, the personal foul after the touchdown gives Beckley really good field position. And I talked, you got to control your emotions here tonight. And we've already seen, I think 3 15-yard penalties on, after the fact on extracurricular activity. So both teams are going to have to calm down here a little bit because that hurts Oak Hill. That takes away some of the momentum after the touchdown. Here's the double wing set.
Handoff up the middle. It looked like that's Bryce Ford. He will dive across the 35.
That's kind of their bread and butter. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised they didn't come out doing that in the first 2 drives more. So Bryce Ford from that right wing position, and they pull that backside guard and tackle. That's kind of their bread and butter. There's a lot of pulling in this offense. There's a lot of double teaming at the point of attack, and that frankly is what's got Beckley to a 5-3 record. I'm kind of surprised they got away from that.
They most certainly are not doing that now. Here's Bryce Ford again. He will be taken down at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1 by a whole host of Red Devils.
James Ludwig was the first one to make contact that time, and that looks like basically the same play. They just ran it to the other side that time, and Ludwig made a nice play. So that's going to bring up 3rd and really short for Beckley here on the 35-yard line. Or excuse me.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, 2nd and short.
2nd and short. There we go.
Yeah.
Yardage was right. We need to get the down right. Here we go. Again in that double wing set. Handoff up the middle. Should be enough for a first down, maybe.
Just barely. They gave that time to the fullback. That's number 12, Philip Blair. He might have got just enough for that.
The way they're marking it, it's going to be short.
And they're changing it to 4th down. So, yeah, it's 4th down now. So I think they had the down marker wrong the play before.
4th and...
The officiating and the chain crew are not having their best night right now.
If I can borrow your phrase, 4th and the cat's whisker.
Yeah.
Here's the handoff. I don't know that he got it.
I don't know he got it either. They tried the QB sneak, which I love that play there. The Brandon champion, Cade Compton, Tyler Ashmore. I don't know if he got it or not either. That's going to be really close.
That spot looks friendly for Oak Hill.
Let's see.
Looks like we're going to measure.
That's going to be really close.
Is this the record for measurements in the game already?
So far, yeah. I thought measurements were a thing of the past. I'm actually glad that they're actually bringing the sticks back out because it drives me crazy when they eyeball these really close measurements. Oak Hill's already had one measurement go their way. We'll see if we can get a second one here. I think he's short.
I think he is.
He's short.
First down, Oak Hill.
That's 2 times Oak Hill's been able to hold on 4th and short.
How you play deep, fellas? How you play deep?
And Lucas, after that initial 9-yard gain from Bryce Ford on the first play of the drive, 3 straight plays with no gain, and they had less than a yard to get that first down. That's got to drive you crazy if you're Chad Surratt. I mean, 2nd and short's where you want to live, and they weren't able to convert, and they have to give up possession again.
Oak Hill takes over up 13-zip on the visiting Flying Eagles from Beckley. 2-back set once again. Richardson will take the snap. Hand it off, going to James Green. Green will be taken down. I think they're going to give him a yard.
That was Ashmore on the carry. That was Jaheim Miller who came over that time and was able to hold that to a minimal gain. So Beckley went back to that 4-man front that time. They're kind of switching back and forth between the 4-man and 5-man look to give Oak Hill different blocking assignments. But so far, Oak Hill's been able to get that running game going regardless of the front that Beckley's showing.
Richardson once again in that all too familiar formation. Handoff goes to Moritz. and he'll get bottled up. I think he may have gained a yard, maybe. Yeah, they're going to say move it up. Actually, they're going to give him 2.
That was Jaheim Miller and Jamarcus Mann that time into the tackle for the Flying Eagles. They really like Mann, number 71, right there in the interior for Beckley. He might be their best lineman. Brad Compton was talking him up earlier in the week when I spoke to him. He made a nice play that time. Oak Hill finds himself in the 3rd and long here. Looks like they're going bunch to either side, Lucas.
Richardson takes the snap, rolls out to his right, looking to throw. Pass is going to be a little behind Owen Gross.
He had him, too. That was a really nicely designed play. They rolled the pocket with Devin. Owen kind of snuck out there in the flat. It was almost like a delayed route that time. He looked like he was going to stay in and block for a minute, then he snuck out. They had it, too. I mean, that was going to be a first down, and Devin just put it behind him. That happens sometimes, but it's a nicely designed play, and it might be something you can come back to later because it was there.
So Oak Hill now will be forced to punt, and Beckley will get the ball back with a chance to cut into this lead. Kick is away. Good kick. Driving him back to near the 20. Getting to the 30. Owen Gross is in there.
Nice play. Yeah, it sure was. Owen Gross did a really nice job. Then Braden Hunt helped finish it off. But that's pretty solid coverage from Oak Hill because it was a line drive punt. Line drive punts a lot of times typically open yourselves up to long returns because the guys can't get downfield. But Braden Hunt and Owen Gross were able to get down there and hold that to a minimal return. Nice job by those 2 kids.
So 8:42 to go in this half. Woodrow takes over trying to cut into this lead here. And this feels like a gotta-have-it drive for Beckley.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Beckley has really not been able to get anything going. They came out in 4 wide, tried to throw it a little bit, couldn't get that going. Then they came out in their double wing set, and after an initial nice 9-yard gain, they couldn't move it another inch. They're staying in that double wing set here.
Here is the handoff.
Good job.
It's a nice job of him trying to see who came up. I think that was Armani Hicks who came up from his corner position and played the run really well that time. So in that double wing position, it looks like Oak Hill's almost going to, that might be a 6-man front they're going to counter out that big double wing package for Beckley. And then Armani Hicks did a really nice job. See, everything's so tight to the line when they run that. So Armani Hicks came up from his corner position, did a nice job of making that tackle.
Handoff once again. And again, the Red Devils are all over it.
Yeah, Cade Compton from his linebacker position. Nice job scraping over, making the tackle. I want to give credit to James Ludwig, though, who set the edge that time. And he forced Ford to cut inside of him, and the linebackers were able to come in and make the tackle. So nice job by Ludwig on the defensive line that time for Oak Hill. So Sullivan's going to check out their anticipating pass. So they bring in an extra defensive back with Antoine Hicks here. They're going a little smaller, thinking Beckley's going to throw here on 3rd and long. And Beckley does go back to a shotgun set. Looks like 3 receivers here.
He's caught, and that's going to be short of the line again. Great defense there from Oak Hill.
That was a heck of a hit. I think that was Z. Lewis who came up, and, man, he just stuck him. I think it was number 2, Christian Stewart on the reception. But, man, Z put a shoulder into him, and he didn't get another inch. That's going to force a Beckley punt here. Great job that time by Z. Lewis to come up and hold that to a minimal gain. Good, strong kid. And I can't say enough about this start from Oak Hill's defense, Lucas. But I'll say this. Oak Hill's defense has been their calling card the last 2 or 3 years. They've really done a nice job of holding teams to minimal yards and minimal points all year, and they're doing that to Beckley so far here again tonight.
Punt is up. It's away, and that's going to be fielded to the 35-yard line. Evades a tackler.
That's twice Carson has scared me a little bit. The way because he didn't field that punt into his body. He kind of fielded it bending over and caught it with his hands. You don't want to, you're not going to put together an instructional video to field punts like that, but luckily he avoided any disaster.
You were thinking the exact same thing.
I didn't like the way he fielded that, but
it'd be one thing if there was no one around you, but there were 2 Flying Eagles, well, flying to that ball. 3 receivers, 4 Oak Hill to the wide side, 1 to the near side. Man comes in motion across the formation. That's Owen Gross. Richardson fakes his way and has a receiver downfield. That pass is nearly intercepted.
So
it was intended for Mikey Spack.
Yeah, it was just a nice job at time from A.J. Thomas and Christian Stewart. They brought a man in motion. They faked a little screen out here to the right, and then Devin took a shot downfield, but Beckley was all over that. So nice job by Stewart and Thomas that time, because they weren't fooled by that pump fake out to the right.
Twins to each side, single back in the backfield. Richardson will take the snap. Handoff goes to J.D. He'll pound it to about the 40-yard line.
So he got 4 yards. That's going to put him in 3rd and 6, 3rd and medium. You'll take that. Again, Beckley's in that 4-man front. They blitzed the linebacker that time. I thought J.D. might pop that through there and get bigger yardage, but they were able to hold him to 4 yards. They're going to bring Tyler back in, and Owen Gross is going to come out. So they're going to go back to that 2-back look here on 3rd down. We'll see what Oak Hill dials up. They might take a timeout here as the play clock's running down. I'm thinking Devon Marion's going to take a timeout and talk about this.
They will indeed. So it's 6 minutes even showing on our second quarter clock. Oak Hill wants to talk about it, and we'll let them do so. We'll take it with them here on the River Network. Talking's over. Oak Hill lining up on a 3rd and 6. Two backs in the backfield, and we've got some movement up front. And I think that's going to be about 5 yards further back.
Yeah, they're going to call that on Jasper Newman. I couldn't tell if he jumped first or if Keandre Goo jumped first, but they said it was on Newman, so we'll make it a 3rd and 11 now.
I didn't even see it on the line. I saw a receiver moving first.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So let's call this 3rd down and 11 from the 35. Richardson takes the snap, looks to throw. Pass is going to be incomplete. He was going for Carson Treadway there. Good defense there from Woodrow.
Yeah, they brought Owen Gross across the formation in motion, and they left Carson out there by himself. And I think they were hoping to get him singled up and try to run a little slant pattern there. But it was pretty good coverage from the Beckley corner. The safety kind of came over to get in the passing lane too. So nice job by the Flying Eagles that time to force an Oak Hill punt.
Kick is away. Line drive kick once again. Taking a really good Oak Hill bounce.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be down at about the 17-yard line. No, 18 and a half. So, 5:50 to go, second quarter, 13-0 Oak Hill. Woodrow coming out for another critical drive.
And if you're Chad Surratt, you're flipping through the playbook right now going, what are we going to run here? Because he's frankly, he's went 4 wide, tried to get the passing game going. Hasn't done that with a lot of success. He's tried to go back to that double wing set. Hasn't done that with a lot of success. And That's got to be frustrating. He hasn't really not been able to move the ball against this Oak Hill defense tonight.
Out-of-town scoreboard on the other part of our company. It looks like Princeton's up 21-6 on Greenbrier East at the moment. Here is the handoff for Woodrow. That'll be about a 2-yard game. We'll call it 2nd and 8.
That was number 21, Connor. Excuse me, that was 22, Bryce Ford that time in on the carry. He got a little more than that. That's actually it's a solid gain. It's about a 5-yard gain that time for Ford. He was able to keep his legs churning, and again, I'll talk about Beckley staying on schedule. When you're a heavy run team, you want those 4- and 5-yard gains to stay on schedule. And right now they're going with a 3-receiver set, and they're having a wing one out here on the right.
Low snap. Hand it off. No gain.
J.D. Moritz, Brandon Champion, among others that time in on the tackle. Yeah, the snap, I think, might have thrown the timing off of that play just a little bit. Price had to go down to his ankles and field that before he handed it to Connor Ray. So that's going to, again, bring up a 3rd and about 3 here for Beckley, maybe 3rd and 4.
I think 3rd and 4 is what I would say. 3rd and either a long 3 or a short 4 here for Beckley as they come out with the 3-receiver set. Takes the snap, looks to throw, and that pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage and it falls incomplete.
That was James Green, who's just had a really good year at defensive tackle for Oak Hill this year. He did that time what he's done all year was cause havoc in the backfield, and just as Price was going to release it, James Green hit him, and it just caused kind of a floater out there in the flats. That's going to bring up a 4th down and another punt situation here for the Flying Eagles. And again, I can't say enough about this Oak Hill defense. Just playing great here tonight.
Punt is away. And that'll take a good bounce as Carson Treadway will field it. He'll get to about the 50. And then finally we shut that out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. And everyone's in there on the Oak Hill side of things. Woodrow player goes down. I think he got...
he flopped.
Yep.
He flopped. They knew he flopped, so they kept their flag in their pocket. Nice job to do that. You could see he flopped. But, yeah, no, that was a nice job by Carson Treadway that time. He fielded on the bounce. It was a clean bounce. He was able to field it and get nice positive yardage and put Oak Hill in business here in the Beckley side of the field.
I think he got shoved by the referee. Like, son, you can't fool him into throwing a flag on himself.
Yeah.
Chancellor is all the way over on this side of the field.
in the middle of the field, and I tell you what, he's lucky he might not get a flag for that. I've never seen a coach come that far out on the field before, so he may have been unhappy. From our vantage point, it was number 16, Gage Burdett, who clearly flopped, trying to draw a flag, but there was no flag to be thrown right there. At least not from contact. I couldn't hear what was being said, but no contact.
So Oak Hill in the all too familiar 2-back set. 4:18 to go until halftime. Handoff goes to J.D. Moritz. Moritz will be falling across the 45. Good gain on 1st down.
Yeah, that was Bryce Ford. I think it was number 52. Levi Picha in there as well. I think. It might have been 62, Drake Bowling, actually.
2nd down 8 for the Red Devils. We are now across 4 minutes to go until halftime.
Staying in that 2-back look with Ashmore and Moritz. 4-man front for Beckley.
Richardson hands the ball off once again. J.D. Moritz trying to bounce to the outside, and he'll dive forward for, let's say, 2 or 3. Taking 3rd down and 5.
Bryce Ford just held on to that ankle. J.D. couldn't quite squeeze out of that. If he did, he had some room out there. But Ford from his linebacker position did a nice job of holding on. Beckley's bringing their linebackers from dip. They'll blitz the A-gap, and then they'll bring them off the edge. So they're showing Oak Hill blitz from that linebacker position, but they're showing it from different angles.
Evan Richardson has the play from the sideline. He'll tell it to his teammates.
Now they have Tyler at that H-back position. Let's see what they want to do here. Maybe pull him across the formation. No.
Keeper all the way. Richardson diving across the 40. Going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, they lined up Tyler at the H-back, and they ran behind him and had J.D. as the lead blocker. But Beckley did a nice job of holding up. That's going to bring up a 4th and a round 2. Of course, this is 4-down territory. Let's see if Oak Hill can keep the drive going here. So it looks like we're at 2:38 and ticking here, Lucas. Ashmore's going to stay in the game. Owen Gross is going to come out. So they're going to stay in that 2-back look.
10 seconds on a play clock. I might be thinking timeout here from Coach
Yeah,
Barry.
they might have to burn one because the play clock is ticking. It's 3. You might have to burn one here.
They're going to get it off. And Ashmore is going to be stopped. So that's a huge stop for Woodrow.
That's a great defensive possession by Bryce Ford. He was all over the place that time. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have minded to see Oak Hill maybe take a timeout there. That looked a little rushed. It looked a little flustered to me. I think a timeout might have been in the cards that time to maybe just settle your team down, get the play in that you want. Because it looks like Oak Hill came out of the huddle really late and then had to rush to the line and snap it.
Woodrow's got a chance here to, again, dig into this lead before halftime. 2:14 with which to do it.
And
memory serves, they have 2 timeouts.
They're going with a 4-receiver look.
Right, the pass is going to be a screen. Cutting back in, now trying to cut back outside. Nothing doing there for Beckley.
Yeah, James Green came over, did a nice job from his defensive tackle position. J.D. Moritz was out there. They were all over that, though. Oak Hill's doing a really nice job of scraping over there and just shutting those screens down before they have a chance to even get going.
2nd and 11 for Beckley here.
So with Beckley going 4 wide, Sullivan's going to check out. We have an extra defensive back in. Probably, I didn't see him checked in, maybe Antoine Hicks. Oak Hill's going with a smaller package.
Gage Price takes the snap, looks to throw, has a man downfield. That's going to be, I think, caught along the far sideline.
Yeah, they're saying that's a catch through the flags, so it might get interference, but they'll probably decline that. That was just a flag pad, a little corner pad in that time to A.J. Thomas. I couldn't see who was on the coverage that time for Oak Hill. They never got their head turned around, though. Never made a play on the ball. But it's not going to matter anyway. They said that Thomas came down with his foot in bounds, so that's easily Beckley's biggest play of the game. Big pass play on the flag route, and that puts the Flying Eagles here in business.
So, ball rests at the 46.
So what was the call there? Because he clearly cut the ball further down than the 46.
Beats me.
Did they say it was incomplete and they just took the penalty then? Okay.
I think they did. Bryce Ford has a first down and then some as a flag comes in behind the play at the end of it.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but you're right.
It looked like that was right in front of the Oak Hill sideline.
Yeah.
It had to have been almost like a sideline infraction.
I don't know. Ford with a great run that time. But, yeah, there was a flag thrown well behind the play, nowhere near the play. I think it might be a sideline warning. I think you're right. So on that play before, they had signaled that Thomas caught it. That was a signal on the field, but apparently they changed their mind and said he didn't catch it, and they just took the pass interference penalty. But they had signaled that pass was complete initially. And I guess that was a sideline warning. So Beckley, after it's all said and done, is going to have a 1st and 10 here at the Oak Hill 24.
Beckley knocking on the door here with 1:23 to go. And they've done it in, I would say, the weirdest of ways, but it's Oak Hill Woodrow. Weird things happen when Oak Hill and Woodrow get together.
Well, there's been a couple times tonight the officials have frankly confused me by what they're signaling up here than what they do on the field with it. Because on that long pass to Thomas, the official on the sideline clearly signaled that was a catch. They didn't signal that was incomplete. They signaled it was a catch and then threw the flag for pass interference. I assumed that was going to be declined and they take the play, but apparently they then decided it was incomplete and took the penalty, then forwarded it with a nice run down to the 24. We saw a flag come out, which I think was just a sideline warning against Oak Hill. But despite all that, like we said, 1:23 left. Beckley, first attempt at 24, trying to cut into this 13-0 lead, going with a 4-receiver set.
Gage Price takes the snap, drops the throw, fires into the end zone. That pass is going to be, I think, intercepted.
No, it was caught.
No, caught touchdown.
It was Preston Clary. He threw it in traffic. Oak Hill had guys back there to make a play on it, but he was able to thread the needle and get that to Preston Clary. Gage Price did a nice job of stepping up in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, and found his man. That cuts it to a one-possession game. Beckley's back in it now.
I could have sworn I just saw a Beckley player doing a backflip in the end zone. And if so, I was looking for a flag.
So that's a really nice answer drive here from the Flying Eagles, and they needed that in the worst way. They hadn't been able to get anything going on offense. Extra point is up.
Extra point is good. So we got a game here, folks. 13-7 with $1:17 to go until halftime. Do not, I repeat, do not touch that dial. We've got a good one here for you, John P. Duda. Hey, remind everyone.
Football season always. He was able to fit that in. So Oak Hill's going to get the ball back here, Lucas. There's 1:17. Oak Hill still has 2 timeouts. We'll see how aggressive they want to be to maybe try to get their own score here before going in at halftime, because Beckley does get the second half kickoff. So if Coach Marion's aware of that, he might really want to try to take advantage of this possession so that Beckley can't score twice before you score once.
Tyler Radford is the kicker for Beckley. He has the ball on the tee. That ball will be fielded at the 20-yard line and mishandled, and going all the way back to the 15 to the 14-yard line is Oak Hill, and that is about the worst possible thing you could have barring a change of possession.
Yeah, that was Antoine Hicks. He just mishandled the ball as he took off. He was going to try to get out to the right and just forgot the ball that time. So, yeah, that puts Oak Hill in a bad way here inside their own 15. So it's interesting. We'll see how aggressive Chad Surratt wants to be here on defense, too. I believe he's got his own 2 timeouts. So this might be a little cat and mouse game between the 2 coaches, depending on how these first couple of plays go.
1:12 to go in what has been a interesting first half, to say the least. Devin Richardson, quarterback for Oak Hill. He'll take the snap. He'll drop the throw. Pass is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, he was trying to get his man, Armani Hicks. They actually had Carson Treadway and Armani Hicks both in the same general area that time. Looks like they were kind of running skinny post, in-breaking routes. I think he was trying to hit Hicks that time, but ideally you don't want to have your receivers that close together on a pattern. And that stops the clock. So, again, that kind of does Beckley a favor.
It's almost like a timeout for Beckley. 1:07 to go. 8 up, 5 seconds. Richardson will hand the ball off. The Reds will dive forward for maybe a yard.
I want to see if Beckley takes a timeout here. Yeah, they will.
They will.
So Red's going to. That's a good timeout in my opinion.
And you can see those Flying Eagles. They know they're back in it.
Yeah, they got some momentum now. That touchdown fired them up a little bit. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and long for Oak Hill, deep in their own territory. Beckley can stop the clock again. So we'll see what Devon Marion wants to do here on 3rd and long. You don't want a turnover. You want to be careful. But in the same respect, if he can move the chains, he'd like to do that as well. So
Yeah, if you get a first down, you've beaten Beckley's plan right here.
can you be conservatively aggressive here? Is that a thing?
We're making it a thing. We're going to make it a
Can you be
thing,
conservatively aggressive?
I'm sure if you asked every football coach in the country, they'd probably tell you that's what they want to be.
That's my tip. Be conservatively aggressive here.
We're making up new words here on the Nerva Network.
So, yeah, this could be a big point in the game. Beckley gets a second-half kickoff. They have Oak Hill on a 3rd and long. They still have a timeout. They can stop it after this play if Oak Hill doesn't get it. So, Oak Hill comes out in a 2-back set here.
2 receivers to our near side, 1 way out wide. Richardson will take the snap. He'll hand it off. J.D. Moritz will dive across the 20. Heck of a timeout here from Beckley.
Yeah. So they haven't taken it yet, and I think they still have one, don't they?
Or we're mistaken.
I thought they still had one.
I did too. Huh.
But apparently they would definitely be taking it at this point if they had a timeout.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess we were mistaken. And Oak Hill's just going to let as much of this clock run off as possible. So, yeah, I thought that Surratt still had a timeout in his back pocket. Apparently he didn't. And you have to think Devon Marion's going to let this go all the way down to 1. He's going to take his own timeout and just punt the ball out of here and try to get in the locker room.
So with 11.1 seconds to go here in the first half, Oak Hill will take a timeout, like we said, just to avoid the delay of game penalty, and then punt it. Hope that thing takes a friendly roll and eats up a lot more. Eats up some of that 11 seconds and then get out of here and get to halftime.
Well, Oak Hill's got to have everything. You know, we've talked in the past. Oak Hill's punt game this year has been a circus at times. So you got to have a clean snap, you got to have a clean catch, and you got to get the punt off cleanly. You don't want a disaster down here. If I'm Surratt, I'm coming after this punt pretty hard, though. I'm trying to make a play here and come after J.D. Moritz.
I'm trying to get. Hey, here's the thing. I'm trying to get a free score if I can.
Oh, absolutely. So I've noticed, JD's not at normal punt depth. They've been scooting him up a little bit because they've had trouble with the snap. So he's at about 11-yard depth right now, which I don't blame him. You got to get the snap back before you do anything else.
Snap is back. Kick is away. And that's going to go out of bounds at about the 49. So with 5.8 seconds to go, we'll see what Woodrow wants to do here.
Well, you don't want to replay what happened in the Bears-Commanders game last Sunday.
No.
So you don't want to, but if you're Beckley, and that's what you're doing, you're going to send 4 or 5 guys down the field and throw a Hail Mary with 5.8 seconds here.
Can Gage Price pull his best Jaden Daniels? We're about to find out.
We're about to see. Now, this is a longer throw for a high school kid, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not expecting this ball to get in the end zone.
We're set to go. Gage Price will take the snap. He's being forced out.
Fumble.
That ball's on the ground. And Oak Hill will recover as the half comes to a close. So
J.D. Moritz on the sack and the fumble recovery.
No time to do anything with it, but certainly a big momentum grab here at the end of the first half. We've played half of our football game here so far, and it's 13-7 Oak Hill. We'll be back with the second half after this halftime presentation of both bands on the New River Network. Stay with us, everyone.
That brings us to the end of our first half. Oak Red Devils 13. Woodrow Wilson, Lion Eagles 7.
Only upside of the whole trip is the big ass buttons.
Ladies and and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the 2024 Flying Eagle Band. Under the direction of Marshall Rickman and being led onto the field by drum majors Katie Basham and Jada Hopkins. Tonight, the band will be playing selections from their award-winning show, Jewel and the Dragon. would like to thank the following sponsors for their various sponsorships to attend this year. The Table, Corner Gas and Grill, Harmony for Hope, Domino's Pizza, The Frozen Bar, Hair Walker, Mountain Vending, designed by Barb and James, McDonald's of Oakville, Pinnacle Chiropractic, and Clean Room Enterprises. Is your band ready? High School marching Woodrow.
Welcome back here. We are in the customary 3 minutes added on to halftime. Chris, I've never figured out why they don't just put 23 minutes on the clock instead of going 20 and then 3. I have never figured that out.
One of life's unsolved mysteries.
Yep. Before we go any further, we'd like to make note. We did it before the game in the stadium. We'd like to send our thoughts and condolences to the family of Lonnie Warren, a great player from Mount Hope High School, went on to play at Tennessee, and then went on to play for the Minnesota Vikings. And I never had the privilege of meeting him, but I've heard nothing but great things about him. And I'm thinking of his family and the greater Fayette County community for their loss.
Yeah, I met Lonnie a couple times when I was a kid. My dad had actually graduated with him from Mount Hope in 1960, and he had a lot of Lonnie World stories. Some I could share on air, some I couldn't. But my dad thought a lot of him and followed his career primarily with the Vikings. And, yeah, you don't see a lot of guys from around here go on to play in the NFL, and he did, and he had an impact on the community here in southern West Virginia. So, yeah, I send my condolences to his family as well.
Turning back to affairs here in Oak Hill, because we talked about this at various times throughout the season, it seems like when Oak Hill has needed a end of first half, beginning of second half turn, they have gotten it. It feels like they did when they were able to stop Woodrow's Hail Mary attempt on that fumble at the end of the first half. But Woodrow kind of clawed their way back into the game. I'm curious to see how the second half begins. It feels like the first few drives of this third quarter are really going to go a long way in determining how this game ends up.
Well, Oak Hill, for the most part, controlled the first half until that last drive by Beckley right before the end of the half where they hit that 24-yard touchdown pass and got them right back in the game. So, yeah, I know Beckley gets the ball here to start the second half. We'll see if they can keep that momentum going. But for the most part, Oak Hill's defense really stymied them. I'm anxious to see what Oak Hill does offensively as well, because to start the game, they were really running the ball effectively. And then Beckley, to their credit, started kind of shutting that run down. Oak Hill really in that first half did not try to establish their passing game very much at all. It was primarily on the ground. So we'll see if Oak Hill kind of comes out here in the second half, tries to throw the ball a little bit more. I mentioned earlier, I thought Devin Richardson had arguably his best game of the year last week against Bluefield, hitting some of those intermediate routes that went for big plays. So there's always adjustments. There's always a cat and mouse game, but Beckley's done a nice job to get back in the game, and they definitely went out with some momentum. Now, I will say this is something to keep an eye on. Gage Price, the quarterback, that last play of the half, they had to come 10 to him. He was down on the field. He jogged off. He looked okay, but we'll see if he starts the second half here for the Flying Eagles.
Oak Hill has made Devon Marion's made himself a very good name on his halftime adjustments. So we'll see if there are any in this game. As the ball is on the tee, it's going to go out of bounds, and you can't do that on a kickoff. So flag comes in.
Yeah, they're letting Jax Workman kick that. Elisha Jones has been the primary kicker most of the year. Workman kicked off that time, and Workman's actually also the one on that extra point down here. They brought him in to kick the extra point that was blocked. So, yeah, that's a nice little start for Beckley. When the ball goes straight out of bounds, they're going to get good field position here. I think. Or maybe they might make him.
I think they're going to re-kick. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're going to make him kick it again. And Elisha Jones is back on here now to kick the ball. Now, what's interesting, they're going to make him kick it from the 35 now. So, yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. Workman came in and had the opening kickoff. Now they're bringing in Jones, who's been the kicker all year, to kick it off. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the thinking or the thought process was behind that.
I didn't know you could decline the new spot on the kickoff out of bounds.
Yeah, I would have just taken the kickoff out of bounds and taken over the ball there.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting decision by Chad Surratt there to make Oak Hill kick it again.
Elisha Jones has it on the tee. He's ready to go. And that's a really good kick. It's going to be fielded about the 15-yard line, I think, after the 20-25. Across the 30 is number 2 for Beckley. That's Christian Stewart on the return for Beckley.
So actually, after it was all said and done, I think Beckley's taken over where they would have taken over anyway at the 35. So I'm tired of Beckley making me look bad. I told everybody, hey, they're going to come out in that double wing 2 years in a row. They didn't. They haven't done it that much. So I don't know what the Flying Eagles are going to do. We'll learn together.
Well, exactly.
Price is in there, yeah.
Yes. In that 4-receiver set that we saw them go in so often, they bring a man in motion across the formation. Handoff is to number 22 for Beckley. That is Bryce Ford, and he will dive ahead. I don't think he gained anything on that one. We'll call it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, James Green got him around the ankles, and he had some help. They tried to get Ford over there on the right-hand side, but James Green made an initial stop. Brandon Champion cleaned it up, and James just has had a terrific year from that defensive tackle position. I've mentioned a lot that he's undersized. He's not a big kid, but, man, he shoots gaps and uses his quickness to really disrupt things in the backfield for teams.
No gain, 2nd down 10. Same formation for Beckley. You see if they bring a man across the formation. They do. On the other side this time, Price swings it out to that motion man. And that'll be, again, really no gain, as that'll be Preston Clary on the reception, number 8. I think he gained maybe a yard.
Yeah, and Beckley's tried those screens 2 or 3 times tonight with just no success whatsoever. Oak Hill's done a really nice job of getting out there on them. The defensive ends, especially J.D. Moritz and James Ludwig, have done a nice job of sniffing those screens out when they're trying to hit them out in the flat. And that, again, we talked about putting Beckley off schedule, 3rd and 10.
Again, in that 4-wide set, single back in the backfield. Price will take the snap. He'll drop to throw. Pass is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, he threw in a lot of traffic. Looks like they were running double post, one from each side. And Carson Treadway was just playing his position right there in the middle of the field. Looks like he had a chance to pick that off. So Price put that up in a lot of traffic. Frankly, the touchdown pass that he threw, he put up in a lot of traffic too. He was lucky to get away with that one, and Treadway broke it up. So nice 3-and-out start for Oak Hill here.
So Beckley back to punt here. Punter standing at the 24-yard line. 23-yard line, I beg your pardon. Kick is up. It's a end over end with a little bit of spiral, and then it'll take a really kind Beckley roll. Stay away from it, and that'll be fielded at the 15-yard line.
Boy, I got to tell you, Carson has scared me all game, what he's doing back there as a punt returner. He's getting way too close to that ball. He's flirting with disaster down there. Just, if you're not going to field it, just get away from it. And he's just sniffing around it too much. Just get away from it.
10 minutes.
So it looks like Oak Hill will take over. They'll spot this thing at the 14.5. What are we doing here?
I don't know. Refs are going to talk about something. It looks like Oak Hill is going to try to come out here. I don't know what they're talking about.
Somebody in the back of the end zone. Tell them to cut their lights off.
Oh, we have some lights on in the back of the end zone.
Well,
Yeah,
that's one.
There's one.
Okay.
There's two. There you go.
All right. So we've had some interesting explanations from the officials and now headlights. Welcome to Oak Hill Woodrow, everyone. Devin Richardson, the Woodrow transfer, takes the snap. He hands the ball off to J.D. Marich. J.D. will dive across the 15. Maybe got the 15.5.
Yeah, that time they tried to pull Derek Sullivan from his left guard position. Beckley did a nice job of shutting it down. Jamarcus Mann from the interior defensive line held that to just a 2-yard gain. And again, Beckley, after initially getting gashed on that run pretty well, started shutting that Oak Hill run down in the latter half of the first half.
Here is the handoff once again to J.D. Marich. J.D. will get close to the 20.
I think Bryce Ford made first contact. He didn't make the tackle, he made first contact. He's had a really nice game for Beckley from that linebacker position. And again, Oak Hill, after 2 short games, finds themselves in a 3rd and 6 here, deep in their own territory. So you want to be careful. The worst you want to come out here with is a punt. But they definitely like to move the sticks here and keep this drive going.
Richardson will take the snap, drops the throw. Pass is going to be incomplete off the hands of his receiver, Carson Treadway, out there.
Yeah, Carson just ran a little button hook out there right at the sticks. I think they were anticipating pressure. They got the pressure, and he had a hot route he could outlet to, but he couldn't put it on Carson that time. It was a little low and outside, so both teams with the 3-and-out here to start the second half. And it looks like Elisha Jones is going to come in and do the punting, so
the roller coaster that is Oak Hill punting continues.
Oak Hill is really switched around things with their kicking game here tonight. Jones has a punt since earlier in the season.
And he barely,
I think that
got tipped.
He didn't get a great one off that time.
It's going to take a Woodrow roll. And it will be fallen upon by the Red Devils at the Oak Hill 27.
Yeah, that's a really bad punt. So Beckley, and we saw this some last year in this game too, where bad punts really hurt Oak Hill, and they gave up a lot of field position. I mean, that's That's pretty huge right there. That's
Yeah.
less than a 10-yard punt that time from Elisha Jones, and that puts Beckley in business down here.
I couldn't tell if it got tipped or just wasn't the best kick.
Yeah, and I'm interested why they decided to put Jones back there. Moritz he punted in the first half, and
It took a roll to the 15.
yeah, he was getting some good punts off.
Handoff up the middle. That's Bryce Ford. Ford diving across the 15 as he gets 10 as he gets dragged down.
Well, that's a touchdown-saving tackle by Armani Hicks, but that's really been Beckley's bread and butter this year is that double wing formation. And then that time they showed a lot of misdirection in the backfield, and they brought Ford around in that cross buck, and they really caught Oak Hill off guard. That's usually what Beckley does. That's what they've done the majority of the year. Really nice run play that time, but great job, Armani Hicks. That was going for a touchdown if Armani doesn't make that shoestring tackle.
Beckley coming out again in the ultra-tight set. Handoff to number 21.
That's Ford. That's a touchdown. Connor Ray, excuse me.
He's got a touchdown. So Beckley is an extra point away from taking the lead here for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and they're getting back to what they typically do is line up in that double wing set. And again, that time they pull that backside guard and tackle. They bring Connor Ray over from his left wing position. He found a lane. And I tell you what, that missed extra point in the first half.
This extra point is up. It is good.
Yeah, and that gives Beckley the lead.
Didn't know it at the time, but that a mixed extra point might end up being a very critical point in this game.
Well, it was interesting, though, when Oak Hill scored that second touchdown, there was a lot happened. If you remember, the refs were completely bungling what happened. But what we missed in the midst of all that was instead of bringing Elisha Jones in to do the kicking on the extra point, he brought in Jax Workman, which I hadn't seen Workman kick an extra point all year. It was blocked. And right now, that's looming large. And then just now, instead of J.D. Moritz punting the ball, you bring Jones in, who hasn't punted the ball since earlier in the season. Moritz has been the punter the last several weeks. Jones gets off a bad punt, gives Beckley great field position. So some interesting decisions on Oak Hill's kicking game, and right now it's costing them.
With 8:36 to go in the third quarter, Beckley has taken their first lead of the evening, 14-13. It has turned out to be a very interesting game, to say the least.
Yeah, and the Red Devils, who were really moving the ball well earlier, have not had a good drive in the last 3 or 4 possessions. So Oak Hill's got to find something here and move the ball and get some of this momentum back, because all the momentum's on the side of the white right now.
Kick is in the air. It'll be fielded at the 15-yard line. Kicking out across its way in the 25, 30, 40, 45, 50. 45 across the Woodrow 45.
Well, that was Z. Lewis, and man, if you needed somebody to make a play, he just made a play to get this crowd excited, because all the momentum was on Beckley's side right now, and Z was able to get a big kickoff return that time. And what's interesting is Z actually had to catch that ball backpedaling, which isn't ideal. He caught that ball with all his momentum going backwards. Bill's able to gather himself and find the lane and get a big play here for Oak Hill.
From the Woodrow 43-yard line, Oak Hill will take possession here, trying to reclaim the lead.
2-back set, and they have Tyler here at that H-back position behind James Ludwig.
Richardson takes the snap, hands it off to J.D. J.D. will be short of the 40-yard line, but it'll be a good 2-yard gain, call it 2nd and 8.
Yeah, so they brought Tyler, they pulled him from that H-back position across the formation. He tried to get a lane for J.D., but Jamarcus Mann, the number 71 for Beckley, again, shut that down before it could get going. So they're going to check in James Green now. And they're checking out Anquan Hicks. So this is unusual. Right now, Green, Ashmore, and J.D. are all in the game together. And frankly, I can't remember the last time. So J.D.'s actually in a slot here. Now they're going to put him back in the backfield. So I've never seen the 3 backs in here together before.
Richardson will hand the ball off. And that was James Green on the carry, and he got nothing.
No, he did. You're right. He got nothing. That was Drake Bowling, among others, and they're on the stop for Beckley.
And there's a late flag down.
Yeah, we'll see what that is.
Looked like you saw a Woodrow player kind of holding their head.
So that's a formation I've actually never seen Oak Hill run before. They kept Tyler in at an H-back, and then they had James Green and J.D. Moritz back there in the backfield with Devin Richardson. I've never seen all three. What was the call here, Lucas? They're marking off against Beckley.
I missed it.
Well, whatever it was 15 yards.
Yeah.
And that's a big call because Beckley had two nice defensive plays right there. And then all of a sudden, what I'm assuming is a personal foul, moves the ball down to the 25. And I talked earlier, you got to keep your emotions in check. And I guess that time Beckley didn't. So it puts Oak Hill in business at the 25.
Two-back set for Oak Hill. Richardson takes the snap, and it's going to be stopped here. So we'll see what this ends up being.
I guess the officials aren't ready for that ball to be snapped. I'm not sure.
I guess so.
So Green's going to check. No, Moritz is actually going to check out. Owen Gross is going to come in. So they're going to go with that 10 personnel where they have one back and four receivers. Green being the lone setback beside Devin Richardson.
Richardson takes the snap, rolls out to his right. He'll keep it. I think he leaps someone, and he'll dive across the 10.
Yeah, that was clearly a designed run, too. That was clearly a designed run. And Devin found something there on the right-hand side. So nice little QB draw that time from Oak Hill.
They're going to spot that thing at the 11, so not quite goal-to-go territory just yet.
So, and again, a nice adjustment. If they've been shutting down Oak Hill's design runs with the running backs, so show them a QB run and get something out of it. Nice job by the Devils.
Richardson and all the window dressing and hand it off to J.D. That's a pretty safe bet. And he'll dive near the 5-yard line.
Yeah, but I like it. They gave Beckley something they haven't seen like. They brought in a man in motion, showed jet sweep action, and then handed it to J.D. So I like the misdirection that time because Beckley is now starting to set on what Oak Hill's been doing. So show them something different. And they have. They ran a QB draw. That time they showed some jet sweep and then brought J.D. in through the interior of the line. So nice adjustment by Oak Hill to try to get that running game going.
For those who may have watched our soccer coverage, that ball is standing at the edge of the 18-yard box. Here is a handoff to J.D. He will dive forward. It'll be third down, and they're saying he lost a little bit. They moved the down marker back. So that'll be third down and 7.
Yeah, and they can actually get a first down without getting a touchdown. The line to make looks like it's about the 1.5, something like that.
Something, yeah.
So they can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Ashmore's going to check out. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing another design run for Devin here. That's just me playing armchair quarterback. I wouldn't mind seeing Devin keep it on a design QB run here.
Trips to the far side, single receiver near side. Richardson drops the throw. He'll keep it himself. Devin Richardson in! Touchdown, Oak Hill!
Nice job by the senior. That was a design pass. He was looking for something to break open, didn't see it, and saw a lane, and that's what Devin Richards, he's got that dimension that you really like to have, and he just tucked it and got his second TD of the night. Oak Hill really needed that too, and that was aided big time. Again, I got to go back to that 15-yard penalty because Beckley had Oak Hill in a 3rd and long situation, and that 15-yard penalty gave him the first down at the 25, and Oak Hill scored from there.
And they're lining up for the extra point here.
And this is Jones back in to kick the extra point.
Kick is up. It's
blocked again.
So the score remains Oak Hill 19, Woodrow 14, 5:33 to go here, 3rd quarter. We shall return after these on the Nerva Network for the conclusion of this one. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back here as Oak Hill is set to kick off after scoring a touchdown but missing the extra point. And Beckley will field in very good position. It's going to get even better as they'll dive across the Oak Hill 45 down to the Oak Hill 43-yard line. Excellent field position here for Beckley starting out.
Yeah, that was Bryce Ford, who's really played a nice game offensively and defensively for Beckley. That time making his presence known on special teams with a really good return off the squib kick all the way back to the Oak Hill 44. So, again, Oak Hill's kicking game, they've had 2 extra points blocked. It's a 19-14 game. You don't usually see 2 extra points blocked, so there's definitely something, a breakdown in protection on that kicking game as Beckley's back in that double wing.
Handoff. That's Ford again, and he's going to be near a first down.
So
they're going to give it to him.
Just a little inside reverse. They handed it to Connor Ray. Connor Ray came through. Little inside reverse to Bryce Ford. And Beckley's getting back to their bread and butter now. That's a bread and butter play in this offense is that inside reverse. And, inside runs and pulling guards and tackle. That's what Beckley's done best. Crossbuck action.
Handoff goes to, I think that was Connor Ray, number 21.
Yeah, so that time they pulled that backside guard and tackle, but Oak Hill was able to shut it off. Cade Compton from his inside linebacker position was able to hold that to just a 1-yard gain. So Oak Hill did a good job that time after giving up nice gains the first 2 plays of this possession. But it looks like Beckley's going to stick with that double wing set. And Oak Hill's trying to go as heavy as they can across the front here as they're showing really a 6-man front at this point.
Gage Price way into center. I think he got some movement up front. No call on the play as that'll be again Connor Ray on the carry.
Yeah, and there's nothing special about what Beckley's doing. The line splits, the linemen are shoe to shoe. Everything's tight to the formation, and they're just saying, we're going to run at you, see if you can stop it. And they're running their bread and butter plays, pulling that backside guard and tackle. They're getting double teams at the point of attack. This is definitely 4-down territory, so they have 3rd and about 4 here, but they have 2 plays to get it.
Gage Price again, way under center. And that's going to be Bryce Ford again. He's got the first down.
Yeah, so that's a nice little design play. So Ford comes in motion from his right wing position, comes in behind Price, but then takes the pitch, and you think that pitch is going to go around to the left side, but then Ford reverses his direction and goes back to where he came from, which is over that right-hand side. So they got Oak Hill on skates a little bit here. And Devon Marion's going to take a timeout and talk to his defense here.
Woodrow driving, trying to reclaim the lead once again. They battled back from 13 zip down to take a 14-13 lead. Oak Hill drove down the field, responded, and only to find themselves again with a missed extra point. In the story of the game so far for Oak Hill last to be the kicking game, because of the 2 missed extra points and the punt that only was probably, net of 10 yards?
Yeah, if that. You're right, that set up Beckley's second touchdown. So, yeah, Oak Hill special teams, which has honestly been kind of a thorn in the side a big part of the year, is hurting them again because those 2 missed extra points are looming large right here. But right now their biggest concern is Beckley's back in that double wing, and they got their run game going, and the Hill's got to find a way to shut that off.
3:46 to go, third quarter. Woodrow comes out again in that double wing formation. Gage Price hands the ball off to Connor Ray once again.
Nice job by Cade Compton. Oh, excuse me, that was I think that was actually Carson Treadway that time from his free safety position. So what you're seeing Oak Hill do now, with everything tight to the formation, they're scooting their linebackers up, and then that time Carson Treadway from his free safety position now in run support is much closer to the line of scrimmage than he normally is, and he made a nice play that time. I mean, basically you have all 22 players within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage right now.
Handoff. Taken down.
James Green
Ray
again. I mean, and that's what that kid's done all year. And again, they're just running that crossbuck action. Now, I got to tell you, Lucas, when you're on the field and you have all those bodies in front of you and you have all that misdirection going, it is easy to lose track of the ball. That's what makes this offense effective. Even though, you know, it's a very old offense, it's still an effective offense. But James Green that time was able to find the ball among all those bodies and make a nice play.
3rd down 10. Gage Price will drop back to pass. He will throw it, and that's incomplete.
Yeah, there was a clear miscommunication there. I don't know what Price thought his receivers were going to run. They did not run the pattern he thought they were going to run, though. I think he was looking for a corner route more toward the flag, and his receiver squared it off more toward the sideline, and just a miscommunication that time.
So it looks like Woodrow's lining up for a field goal here.
And I remember this kid kicked a couple field goals against Oak Hill last year, so this is what, 36-yarder right here?
Yeah. 36-yard field goal is up. It is on the way, and that kick is no good. It fell just short of the crossbar.
So that's a big stand for Oak Hill because Beckley had a nice drive going, but they were able to bow up down there. And Beckley came away with no points. A big stand from the Oak Hill defense right there with 2:23 left here in the 3rd quarter. And the Devils nursing a 5-point lead.
Make of this what you will, and we've seen it. It seems like every game, but I noticed right on that 3rd down play that Devin Richardson was on the sideline getting stretched out, and he was kind of making some just jogging and seeing where he was. So we'll see how he is when he comes out here. Man comes in motion across the formation. That's Owen Gross. Handoff goes to J.D. Moritz. J.D. will dive across the 20-yard line, get to about the 22.
Yeah, the sledding again has become tougher for J.D. He had some things going there in the first half, and we're seeing Beckley doing a lot better job of shutting him down now, just holding him to minimal gains and putting Oak Hill behind the sticks and putting Oak Hill off schedule some too.
2nd down 8 for the Devils here, under 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
I keep waiting for Oak Hill to try to get their pass game going a little bit. They've really stuck to the ground basically all game.
Richardson, right on cue, gets it out on a screen pass. 1st down and then some for Oak Hill.
Yeah, nice. There's
and
another
flag comes in late.
We'll see what that is. I don't know. That's Carson Treadway. So we'll see what the call is. Now, that was a 1st down. Looks like it came in. So the 1st down will stand, but hopefully that wasn't on Carson where they're going to back him up.
Well, they're backing Oak Hill up.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, that's a few unsportsmanlike from Carson this year. So that's not the first time he's been called for an unsportsmanlike conduct. So he's got to get himself under control. He's a really good player, but he has hurt his team on more than one occasion this year with unsportsmanlike conducts. And I don't know what he did or what he said, but whatever it was,
they're not tolerating it.
Yeah, they're not putting up with it. Now, they're saying that 2nd down. That shouldn't be 2nd down. That should the down marker's wrong.
The
down marker's wrong.
Loss of yards.
That's 1st down.
Richardson forced to run. He gets across the 20, near the 25. That's where he'll be forced out at.
Yeah.
They're going to give him the 25 on the dot.
He did a nice job of making something out of nothing there. He was able to beat Jamarcus Mann to the outside. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 5. The down marker's wrong. If you can see it on the screen, they need to tell the guy that he's wrong on that. Carson did get the 1st down, and the penalty was after the 1st down. So if you're seeing 3rd down on the screen, that's not correct. It's 2nd down and 5 here. Yeah, I think they're going. Maybe, I think that's what they're talking about. The down marker's wrong.
Well, we'll see what they're saying.
And I think that's what Devon Marion's asking him, because the down marker's saying third down. It's 2nd and 5. Carson got the first down on the screen pass, and the penalty was after the play. So the first down stands. They just back them up from there. But nobody communicated that to the guy running the down marker who's showing third down. It should be 2nd down.
The streets rats on the field again. See if he wants well, he wants an explanation for sure, but see if he likes what he gets told.
Yeah, they finally got that right. So now it's showing 2nd down, which is right. So 2nd and 5 from the 25 here for Oak Hill. Surratt's still out there arguing his case, though. I don't know what, I'm not sure what his beef is. He's motioning for the head official to come over. He wants to. He's got a beef with something. I'm not sure what it is.
If it's about the downs, he can't win this.
And the guy just changed it to third down again. It's not third down. That should not be third down.
No.
It's 2nd down. That was after the penalty occurred after the play on the screen past the Treadway. It should be 2nd down.
Looks like they're rolling with third.
And here we go again. Marion's asking him, so what are you doing? I don't blame him.
No.
It's 2nd down. It's 2nd down. It should be. And if they're keeping it at third down, they're blowing this. Because the penalty occurred after the play. It was a dead ball penalty.
Right. The first down stands.
Yes.
Just back him up.
Whatever, somebody's going to be mad here, but the coaches, both coaches have been able to talk the refs into making the down what they wanted it to be. And honestly, at this point, the refs,
they change it back to 2nd.
They owe an explanation to the crowd. I mean, they've been talking about this for 5 minutes, so they really should turn on their mic and explain to the crowd what happened. They're not going to. It is 2nd down. It should be.
Have we got this all figured out now, fellas? I think we have. Owen Gross will come in motion. Hand off to J.D. Moritz. Big hole for J.D. He's got the 40. He's got the 45, 50, 45, 40. Across
That's
the 40.
a heck of a stiff arm.
Yeah, it was.
That's a heck of a stiff arm. Jasper Newman, the right guard, is limping off. He's banged up. Beckley did something they haven't done all night. They had all of their linemen in a 2-point stance in a standing position.
And we're walking it back.
I did not see what the call was.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't see what whatever it was a big call. Looks like Carson Treadway's pleading his case, so I'm thinking it might be a hold on him. He's pleading his case. So that's a huge call that negates a huge gain for J.D. Moritz. So now that's going to bring up a 2nd and 11 from the 19 for Oak Hill. That's a.
Are we sure it is 2nd down?
Did they ever say what the call was?
No. I heard nothing.
I heard nothing either. I didn't see. I'm assuming it was a hold.
Again, Owen Gross comes in motion. Again, they'll hand to J.D. Moritz. Again, he finds a hole. Not as big as the last play, though. But he'll get to the 25-yard line, make it third and somewhat manageable for Oak Hill.
Yeah, it's a 3rd and 5. But again, if you're going to throw a flag, you owe the crowd an announcement.
Yeah.
They never made an announcement. And I hope if any of the refs' families are listening, they haven't had their best night here tonight. I know that they're doing the best they can. I'm not trying to be overly critical of them, but you should have an announcement of what the call was to the crowd. They made a mess of that down marker situation over there. That took 5 minutes.
Handoff. Nothing doing there. Looked like that was
James Green on the carry that time. And yeah, that went nowhere. So that's going to bring up a punt situation. Let's see what they do here. They brought in Elisha Jones last time, and he didn't get off a very good punt. It looks like they're bringing J.D. back in to punt here. And again, you got Oak Hill killed themselves with penalties. You had the Carson Treadway penalty.
Looks like it's J.D. back to punt.
On the unsportsmanlike, which set him back. And then I'm assuming Carson was the one really making his case on that big J.D. run. I'm assuming they might have got Carson for a hold out there on the edge.
Oak Hill doesn't have to snap it, and they won't. So, this big 4th down will come at the beginning of the 4th quarter. You are watching Oak Hill High School Football Maneuver Network. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back at the conclusion of the game after this. Welcome back here as we begin the 4th quarter of a wild and wacky game against Woodrow for Oak Hill. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. J.D. Moritz is back to punt for Oak Hill.
No, he's only standing at the 15, so he's backing up a little bit now, so he's not quite at normal punt depth. He's standing at about the 13-yard line right now. He needs to get a good one off here.
It got, I think, partially blocked on the way through, at the very least tipped. And they'll go out of bounds at the 45-yard line, I think. No, they're going to march that thing back up.
So, again, really good field position for Beckley. And Oak Hill's defense is going to have to stand up here as they take over at the Oak Hill 48. So they're taking over basically what you would think is 4-down territory here in the 4th quarter. I think they're going to stay in that double wing set. They were having some success with that. Then Oak Hill was able to bow up and shut it off. But I think they're going to stay in that double wing set here.
Oak Hill leads at 19-14 in a game that has seemingly gone every which way it possibly can. Oak Hill, Woodrow rather, in that double wing set. Handoff goes to number 22, Bryce Ford.
To Cade Compton, Derek Sullivan. Again, it's nothing special. They do that a lot. They pull that backside guard and tackle, and they're just trying to lead Ford up in there. And then a lot of times what you'll see is the play side guard and center, they'll double team the nose at the point of attack. That's kind of what you do in that offense. And that time, Derek Sullivan and Cade Compton were able, though, to shut that down for a very minimal gain. Nice job by the Devils.
2nd down 9 for Woodrow here. Again in that double wing set. Handoff again on the reverse.
Nice job by Z. Lewis from his defensive back position, putting a good stick on a kid that's quite a bit bigger than him. But that time they gave it to Ford. He ran the little inside reverse with Connor Ray. And again, like I mentioned before, that's a lot of ball handling in the interior. you got to have your ball handling buttoned up if you're Beckley. But if you're Oak Hill, you have to find the ball because you're trying to fight off the block and then sort through all that misdirection in the backfield. And they did a nice job that time to keep that to short game as well.
Ball spotted on the 45-yard line. Third down. And we did double check it. It is, in fact, third down. Here is the snap. Gage Price throws. That pass is going to be incomplete, they say. So it'll be fourth down here for Beckley.
Yeah, he just had a two-man route that time, too. He just sent two receivers out in the pattern, so Oak Hill dropped in his own. And honestly, Gage Price had really nowhere to go with the ball when you only have two receivers out there. Oak Hill had both of them blanketed.
Well, what we said was 4-down territory. It appears to be only 3-down territory, as it looked like Woodrow was changing a bunch of people. And they will be dropping back to punt.
And the down marker is again wrong. It's fourth down. They're showing third down. Yeah, they got to get this straightened out. And they're taking a timeout. So I think that's going to be Beckley's
first.
I think that's their first time out of the half. They got to get the guy on the down marker straightened out here because he's had the wrong down up several times tonight. They got to get him straightened out. That just confuses viewers. It confuses the crowd, and
you're going to end up in the.
It leads to hard feelings when there doesn't have to be hard feelings. Just get the down marker right because it just confuses people.
If you're not careful, you're going to end up with the Colorado fifth down situation from like the 90s.
You don't want that, man.
No,
you don't want that kind of controversy, do you? Yeah, they finally got him, but he's been late to the party a few times tonight.
Yeah. So a massive fourth down here for Oak Hill, as Woodrow apparently will punt the ball, we expect. And then again, if you're taking a timeout prior to or after showing punt, who knows? As Surratt's coming again on the field.
And he's got it back to third down. And I'm kind of losing my mind here a little bit because I don't know what's going on. And Surratt's back out here talking.
At the halfway line.
And they clearly ran 3 plays. This is fourth down. They ran 2 runs and then an incomplete pass. It's fourth down. I don't understand what is hard to figure about this out.
It's not. It's basic football. This is stuff you learn in midget league. Even 2 run plays and then an incomplete pass. They were lined up to punt. It's clearly fourth down.
I mean, Beckley was coming out to punt. And he changes it back. I mean, I have no idea what's going on. He changes it back to fourth down. I just... So Oak Hill's playing punt safe here. They do not have a man, and they're faking it.
Fake punt, intercepted by Oak Hill.
Kate Compton.
That's what happened, Kate.
Kate Compton returning it across the 50. Flag comes in behind the play late.
Oak Hill knew that was coming. They were playing punt safe. They did not have anybody back. They knew that a fake was coming. They were smelling that out. Kate Compton, the sophomore, I have no idea what the flag was. It came way back behind the play.
There are 2 flags on the field, actually. So either 2 people had the same play, or the same penalty, rather.
Lamont Lynch, the assistant coach beside me, is telling me that he thinks they're going to get Oak Hill for a crackback. But great job by the Devils. Great job by the sophomore, Kate Compton. I think that's his second interception of the year. I know he had one earlier against Nicholas County. But the Devils were never buying that Beckley was punting that ball. They were in a punt safe and didn't have anybody back, so
we going to announce it, or
they
we
weren't
just
full. Well, and that's the other thing. They have stopped announcing the calls, which bugs me. At least come out here and tell the crowd what happened. They're not doing that. So
I know that referee has a microphone. I know that.
So Oak Hill takes over here at their own 32 with 10-13 left, though, Lucas. 19-14 lead.
Here we go. A chance to extend the lead here for the Devils. Handoff once again, J.D. Moritz. He will get taken down after about a yard gain. Call it 2nd and 9.
And again, Bryce Ford has just played a really nice game for Beckley from his linebacker position. He's probably in on double figures on tackles at this point. He's done a really nice job, and he's also had some nice runs for him from his wingback position too. So Bryce Ford's had a nice game for the Flying Eagles tonight. Been impressed with him.
Clock continues to wind. 9:45 on a rolling fourth quarter clock.
Yeah, so they're
Devin
at 10
Richardson
seconds.
comes in late on the play
Devin's
clock.
not even in the huddle yet, so I don't know if they're going to get this play off or not. They might have to burn a timeout here.
They may have to.
You got to take a timeout here. Yeah, that's going to be Oak Hill's second, so they're down to one timeout now.
The drama builds. 9:27 left, and Oak Hill's down to only one timeout, as we said. Like we said, Devin wasn't even in that huddle until like 8-9 seconds on that play.
Yeah,
clock.
they got the play in really late that time. You could tell they weren't going to get that play off on time. So Oak Hill again in a 2nd and long here. I've mentioned this previously. I wouldn't mind seeing something designed for Devin Richardson, QB draw, QB sweep, maybe even run a zone read, but from the sideline telling him, hey, you're keeping this ball. We're going to show zone read action, but you're keeping it. That's just me playing armchair quarterback. These guys know their team better than I do.
Well, I'll say this. The one time I can recall Oak Hill did some major window dressing, it really helped. Wouldn't mind seeing something.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that too. Show them some misdirection. So, they haven't Oak Hill has not ran a jet sweep. That's in their arsenal. They haven't done that tonight. So you can run the ball in a lot of different ways and just hand it to your running back on a straight dive.
Richardson will drop to throw. He'll be flushed, and he'll just get rid of it.
Yeah,
that's going to be intentional grounding. There was also a flag way back.
I think that's going to be intentional grounding. I don't think that's going to be roughing the passer. I think that's going to be intentional grounding. He never made it past. The ball didn't make it past the line of scrimmage.
And there was no one in the area.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be an intentional grounding here. But if they hold true to form, they won't announce what the call is anyway.
Of course not.
So if that is intentional grounding, it's lots of loss of down too. So that's going to be.
I only heard the word offense.
It's going to be third. It should be if it's intentional grounding, it should be 3rd down because that's loss of down. Let's see. But I certainly don't trust the down marker to be right because it hasn't been right about half. They're still showing 2nd down. Who the heck knows?
Who the heck knows?
They didn't announce what the call was, so we're up here guessing. They don't even signal what the call is.
It's 3rd down.
Well, okay. Blitz.
Richardson will get rid of it. That pass is incomplete. They did make an attempt at announcing that. He did say the word offense, but it almost sounded to me like he said offsides on the offense, which is completely impossible. That's a false start.
So that's going to be 4th down. So Oak Hill couldn't get anything going right there. So, again, they're going to rely on the punt game to be buttoned up here. J.D. Moritz back there again. Trying to send that left foot into it and rocket it downfield. Beckley has 2 men back now.
Kick does get away. It'll take a bounce and roll out at about the 45 and stepping back.
Nice job by Braden Hunt to be the man on the spot right there, not allow any type of return.
Honestly, with as much handling that was going on out of bounds, I was expecting a flag.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought for a minute Braden was going to sling him to the ground, but nice job of keeping his head and not doing that. So Beckley again taking over on their own 46. 9:09 left now, Lucas. And again, 19-14 Oak Hill lead. Let's see what the Eagles come out here now. I think they're just going to come back out here and that.
They've pretty much gone bread and butter, except when they've
now
had
this time they don't have
half.
that second wing. That he was behind the running back. There goes forward again.
And he's going to dive across the 50. And some action behind the play and a flag.
Yeah, that's going to be a flag on number 77 from Beckley for extracurricular activity. That's Tyrese Jones. And, at different times, both of these teams have just made dumb mistakes to kill themselves. I mean, just these unnecessary penalties.
We talked about keeping your emotions in check, and let's face it, that's hard.
Yeah, and at different times, it hasn't been one side. It's been Beckley and Oak Hill. And that time, Tyrus Jones, I think, is going to – are they picking it up? No. Yeah, extracurricular activity, and that negates a nice run by Bryce Ford. I mean, he got about, 6-7 yards on that, and that puts Beckley way behind the sticks now. So we've seen penalties really at inopportune times kill both teams here tonight.
Which ones?
That's going to back Beckley up to about the 31-yard line.
So with that, you're going to see Derek Sullivan checks out. They're bringing in an extra defensive back with Antoine Hicks. They're going a little smaller, anticipating Beckley now having to throw the ball so far behind the sticks.
First and nearly the distance between Oak Hill and Beckley.
Yeah, about the truth.
Keeper.
Quarterback draw.
Nice. Brandon Champion, J.D. Moritz. Nice job of sniffing it out. I kind of like the call, to be honest with you. I think it's a good call from Beckley. But those two guys sniffed it out, fought off their blocks. Because Oak Hill was kind of in a soft shell defense. They were, playing back and giving up some room for that QB draw. So I like the call. I like the idea from the Flying Eagles. But just a nice job from Oak Hill to shut that off.
Second down and still a country mile. Empty backfield. Screen pass out to the far side.
Yeah, nice job by Tyler Ashmore from his linebacker position to kind of shut that down for a minimal gain. And that screen game has just not been there all night for the Flying Eagles. They've tried it several times, and Oak Hill stymied it every time.
And that was number 10, Javante Wines.
So if you're Oak Hill, you want to, I'd play a couple safeties back. I'd play kind of a soft shell.
Got to drop, Carson.
So right now you got Trebley as a single high free safety. He's kind of shading out here toward the left.
Bounce back to pass. Pass is going to be caught and taken down immediately.
Yeah.
Was number 8, Preston Clary.
Nice job out there by Mikey Spike from his linebacker position. Had him in man coverage, kept him minimal gain. So, again, Oak Hill's defense, which is, man, I can't say enough. These kids have done this all year. Oak Hill is a really good defensive football team. What the score is now, that's Oak Hill's calling card. That's how they win games. They score somewhere around 20, and they hold you below that. And the defense has done a nice job all year, and they've done a nice job here again tonight.
It had been brought up to me when we played Greenbrier East as I was walking in the stadium. Oak Hill hasn't scored 30 points since last year.
No, they haven't. They're not a high explosive offensive team, that's for sure. They win games with their defense.
Good kick.
Takes a good roll too, yeah.
To about the 25-yard line.
Oh, actually, Oak Hill got a little break that went out of bounds. I thought for a minute that was going to stay inbounds and roll past the 20.
Me too. And they'll spot it at the 26-yard line of the Devils. 7:07 to go in the game.
So both teams have really just stymied each other the last several drives. They can't get anything going. Good defense from both teams here. Oak Hill could really use a drive here to chew up some clock.
I was thinking the exact same thing. What you wouldn't love to do, just kill 4 or 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, just string together 2 or 3 first downs here, chew up some clock, and then, pin Beckley back if you don't finish the drive. But you don't want to go 3 and out here. 2-back set here, Lucas.
And some movement up front from the Flying Eagles. We'll see who jumps.
I think that's the first time that I've seen, as far as I know, that Oak Hill's changed up the snap count. So that's, when you're struggling on offense, you do something different. Change the snap count, get you a free 5 yards. So I like that.
We saw Oak Hill do that a ton last year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I actually think changing the snap count is underutilized. I think more teams should do that.
About like my vendetta, well, not vendetta, but advocacy of the intentional walk in baseball.
Here comes Beckley.
Moritz is going to be bottled up. He'll dive forward for about a yard.
Yeah, so they're showing Beckley's in a 4-man front, but they're bringing the linebackers through gaps every time. So they're being real aggressive, blitzing those linebackers in through like the A and B gaps.
I don't think they marked that right. I don't think they did. I think they only gave them 4 yards on that
On the penalty?
On the penalty. Because it looks like 2nd down and 5.
I'm not sure. They might have thrown JD first. I'm not sure.
Who the heck knows anymore? All right, that's going to be bottled up.
Yeah, Jamarcus Mann came in off his defensive end position. And I tell you, man, I would love to see him run a zone read here and let Devin keep it. Because I just saw Mann crash. They left Mann unblocked that time, and he crashed hard on JD. He wasn't honoring Devin keeping it. I wouldn't mind seeing show that same kind of action. Maybe Devin pull it out of his gut and keep it.
2-back set. Richardson will drop to throw. Pump fakes, keeping, unable to get away.
Again, that was Jamarcus Mann. He had a nice defensive series that time for the Flying Eagles. He did a nice job that time, too. That was a contained rush. He didn't come flying in from his defensive end position. I think he was kind of anticipating maybe Devin was going to try to tuck that. So he came in, showed a little pressure, but then stopped to see what Devin was going to do. And Devin, sure enough, tucked it, and Mann was in position to bring him down for a short loss. So good defensive series by that young man.
Critical punt upcoming here. Snap is away, kick is away. Will be fielded and returned by Woodrow out to the 45, the 50, the 45-40. We'll see where they mark this. That was number 5 for Beckley. Andre Thomas,
yeah,
A.J. Thomas.
That was a good return, too. It puts Beckley in business. Oak Hill didn't do a great job of getting down there and covering that punt. Thomas had some room out there on the left side and took advantage of it.
5 minutes even showing on that fourth quarter clock, and if you're in Beckley, you're thinking Oak Hill does not touch this thing again.
So Beckley's coming out in that more of a spread formation, 4-receiver set.
Man comes in motion across the formation. Snap is back. It's a handoff once again.
It's good yardage. That's forward.
That's really good yardage. That's going to be close to a first down.
Yeah.
9 yards on first down. You'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice run by Ford that time. Nice job by the right side of that Beckley offensive line as they pushed Oak Hill back that time. So Sullivan's going to check out. I'm assuming, and usually when he's been checking out, Antoine Hicks has checked in. But when Derek checks out, you lose some beef up there up front. So the 4-down linemen are Moritz, Green, Champion, and Ludwig right now.
They're going to call this 2nd down and 2. Again, a man comes in motion across the formation. Ford again.
I think it was Ford again. That's really the same play, just the opposite side. James Green did a nice job of knifing through there and tripping him up. I think he held him just short, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
It's going to be really close. We'll see.
They're going to measure again.
They're going to measure.
As the clock is stopped at 3:59 to go in the game. And our down marker says 2nd down.
Well, it's either going to be 3rd down or 1st down, depending on how this measurement goes. It's a first down. So, yeah, Flying Eagle 1st down, spotted at the 33. We're just under 4 minutes now, Lucas. And Derek's going to check back in because what they're doing right now is they're going to a spread set, but they're running the ball out of it. So Coach Marion feels like if they're going to run the ball that spread set, he needs the beef of Derek Sullivan in there. So he brings Antoine Hicks out. And they're going back to the double wing anyway.
And off up the middle, big play.
Yeah, nice play right, Tom. It's a very simple play. They just bring it from that left wing. They pull the backside guard and tackle. Mikey Spock was in on the tackle, but that's a solid first down pickup for Beckley.
Bryce Ford again, and that's going to put him in business here on second down and short.
Same play.
Same play, and
Brandon Champion that
close.
time. I think he's short. I think he's about a yard short. Brandon Champion did a nice job that time in the interior of the line to fight off his block and make that tackle. That's going to bring up a third and about 1.
Clock winds under 3 minutes. Third down and 1, and whistles on the field, flags down.
I think it's going to be motion on Beckley. Wow, that's a killer. Big call. That's a killer for Beckley.
Ball starting against the Flying Eagles.
Because right now, 3rd and 6 is a lot different than 3rd and 1. And, man, Chad Surratt's got to be really unhappy with that.
That's a world of difference.
Big difference. Yeah, absolutely. So Oak Hill basically with this big set, they're kind of going with a 6-man front. They have 11 guys within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Fumble
on the play. And we'll see who comes up with it. I think they're going to say Beckley recovered.
So, man, Beckley was in a 3rd and 1, then the penalty, and then the fumble. And now all of a sudden you're looking at 4th and long. They're going to take a timeout to talk about it with 2:29 left here, Lucas.
What a ending we have here in Oak Hill. What an ending we have here in Oak Hill.
So the line to make is the 24. Looks like the ball. So this is about 4th and 8 here.
Yeah, 4th. They're going to mark that at the 31 and a half.
Yeah, 4th and 7, 4th and 8, somewhere in that area. And if you're Beckley, I mean, this is not the position you want to be in. We've seen their passing game. It's really not what they do best. They can't get their screen game on court. They did have the one TD pass down there, but even that was through traffic. But you feel like you have to throw the ball here on 4th and 7. I don't think you're going to trust that to an inside run with one of your wing backs.
No.
So this is a huge play. Now, is that Beckley's 2nd or 3rd timeout? It's at least their 2nd.
At least 2nd, maybe the 3rd.
So if they don't get this here, they don't have a lot of opportunity to stop the clock.
No,
at best they have one timeout left.
They're in bad shape if they don't get this. This could be the game.
Yes, it very well could be the game.
4th down and 7.5, 8 for the Flying Eagles. 2 to each side. Gage Price drops the pass. That pass is going to be tipped. Incomplete. Oak Hill takes over on downs.
Carson, another flag after the play, which you can't have. I think it's going to be on Antoine Higgs. Carson Treadway came over from his free safety position. They were trying to hit a deep post. Carson doing what a free safety is supposed to do there, just playing center field, knocking that down. But I do think we're going to have a penalty, an unsportsmanlike on Antoine Hicks, which we've seen that a lot from both teams. So it's going to back Oak Hill up, unfortunately.
That's got to be, what, the 9th or 10th unsportsmanlike in the game?
It's too much. And then we talked, that was going to be something both teams are going to have to keep their emotions in check. And honestly, at different times, both teams haven't. It's cost their team. So that time, I think.
Are they going to say that's a first down for Woodrow? The Beckley fans are cheering like that's just what happened.
No, that's a first down. That was a dead ball penalty.
That's what I was confused by.
Yeah.
All right, 2:24 to go in the game. Oak Hill takes over. In a perfect world, Woodrow doesn't touch the ball again for the Devils.
I would let Devin Richardson keep this at least one time on this possession. We haven't seen a lot of design QB run. They've been trying to get JD up in the interior, shutting it down. I would let Devin keep this on a zone read or just send both backs as blockers. So they're in a 2-box set right now.
Two-back set here for the Devils. Richardson will keep. Quarterback keeper all the way. He will be swarmed on by a whole host of Flying Eagles there.
Yeah, that's DeMarcus Mann again. He's played a really nice game from his defensive end position. And that kid's a horse. I have him listed See if I can find him here. 6 foot, 6'2", 270. And he's played a heck of a game for Beckley from that defensive end position.
Under 2 minutes now to play in the game. 1:55 on a rolling fourth quarter clock. Second down and 10.
Yeah, you want to take
Oak Hill.
this down as far as you can if you're Oak Hill.
Richardson will hand the ball off. J.D. Moritz, who else? He'll dive across the 20.
So that's a solid little second down gain. And I think Beckley's going to take that's
That's
their
gotta be
third.
their
That's
third
got to be
timeout.
their third timeout. That's their third timeout with 1:32 left here in the fourth quarter. I don't think Beckley can stop it again.
So this would come before third down. So if Oak Hill were to get a first down on this play, it would pretty much lock this thing up.
So the ball's at the 28. Where's the line to make? Is it the 32?
I think it's the 32 or the 31.
So
They got to go to the guy on the sideline again.
third and
Third
3 or
and
4 here. Yeah.
And just to play out the drama a little bit, because why wouldn't we? Oak Hill's kicking game has been one of the many stories tonight. So if they don't get this on third down, that punt becomes incredibly
Sure
important.
does. Yeah, you got to execute the punt, get a clean punt off. So I'll tell you what you could do here if you want to. I mean, Beckley's out of timeout, so you're thinking obviously keep the ball on the ground and keep the clock rolling. If you felt good about it, you could throw a safe screen out here too to the outside and maybe catch the Flying Eagles off guard here a little bit. Now, if that falls incomplete, you look like an nincompoop for doing it.
But if it's completed, then you get a first down.
But a first down ends the game. If you get a first down here, it ends the game.
Third down and incredibly important for the Devils. Richardson takes the snap. They will hand the ball off. No, he'll keep it, and he will get nowhere. So Woodrow's going to get their stop.
Yeah, and another nice play by Bryce Ford, number 17. Jacob Reeves are also in on that tackle. So, yeah, Beckley gets their stop. Devin looks like he's a little shaken up. He's trying to, in fact, he's on his hands and knees. They'll have to come look at him. So that'll have an injury timeout at 1:11 here. Now, he's walking off the field now. So when he gets off the field, that should restart the clock, though. At some point.
At some point. Looks like the officials are coming over, and they're basically telling Devin he's got to get off. Clock has not restarted yet.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to restart that at some point. They'll wait for both teams to get out there, but at some point that should restart the clock because that was an injury timeout. But they should restart the clock here,
Yep,
and there
here we
they
are.
go. So the clock's running, and I mean you need to take this all the way down.
Yeah.
So the clock's now under a minute. The play clock is now at 10. Devon Mary might take his own timeout here.
I think he will.
Yeah, he's going to take a timeout
take it all the way
here.
down to 1. 46 and a half seconds reading on that scoreboard out there in this game.
So, I mean, again, you just want to make sure everything's clean. Clean snap, clean catch of the punt, and a clean punt off here. No big mistakes to give Beckley a cheap touchdown or give him cheap field position.
Chris, I'll make a declarative statement. This might be the most wild and wacky, interesting game in the state of West Virginia tonight.
It's been interesting. I mean, it definitely has. Everything from the officiating to the down markers.
to the play on the field.
Yeah,
It's
it's been interesting.
And I think they're going to get Woodrow to jump.
Well, I think Woodrow flinched, but I don't think they came across the line. Oh, they did. They're going to call that offsides.
Yeah.
Now, that's still going to be short, I think, though. Yeah, that's still going to be short.
4th and 1. The line to gain is to 32. That ball.
And he's bringing his offense back on.
He's talking to the official about something.
They might measure that. They're going to measure it to see if that penalty was enough for the first down.
I don't think it is.
I didn't think Woodrow came across. I didn't think they broke the plane. I guess I was wrong. I saw a Beckley kid flinch over there on the end, and then Luke Endicott, he motioned. So I thought that was going to be on Oak Hill. But regardless, they called offsides on Beckley, and here's the most important measurement of the night. This could decide the game.
He's way short. Well, maybe not. He'll touch it all the way out. That's a first down.
That's ball game.
That's a game. Wow.
Wow.
What else can you say but wow? What a way to win a football game.
How many times do you see a game decided by an offsides call, then they have to measure for the first down? Unbelievable.
What a game. What a way to end it. And now all you got to do is knee it, and the handshake line will commence.
And Chad Surratt's getting his money's worth.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting his money's worth. And I can understand him being upset. You hate to see a game end on an offsides and come down to a measurement like that. And so I get it. I get where he's coming from.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I don't know. And frankly, I'm not saying it was a bad call or a good call, but it was the call that decided the game, and that measurement decided the game.
Right. They haven't told the down marker guy to change it to first down yet, so it's still showing 4th. And he's still all the way back up here. Like, dude, come on. Unless Surratt's winning the argument.
He's been on a different planet from everybody else all night anyway.
You know what? You're right about that. You're right about that. Well, here's the thing. We've seen in that little situation, they haven't changed this.
Well, regardless, they called it a first down.
They did.
We know it's a first down. Oak Hill's just going to take a knee here and end the game. And I feel ashamed, of myself a little bit. Those are volunteers doing that on the stick. So I'm sorry if I've been a little overly critical.
And now for the best formation of them all, victory formation for Oak Hill. Coaches tell the players to get back and we can celebrate after this thing's officially over.
So Devon Marion telling the crowd to get up. That's going to move Oak Hill to 8-1. This is a big points game, beating a 5-win 4A team.
Oh, yeah.
So Oak Hill's chances of hosting a playoff game just went up exponentially with this win here tonight against Beckley.
And there it is. Oak Hill extends their winning streak to 2 over the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles. Devin Richardson gets a win over his old mates. And Oak Hill moves themselves to 8-1 on this season by beating the Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles here at John P. Duda Stadium 19-14 in a game that had just about everything. Oak Hill takes their show on the road one more time to University next week. Woodrow will be back at home against George Washington next Friday night.
Well, just another gritty win. Like I said, this is the blueprint for how Oak Hill wins football games. It's these kinds of. Oak Hill hasn't blown anybody out all year.
No.
They haven't scored 30 points all year. They win football games by stringing together a couple of drives and then relying on their defense, and that's exactly what they did here tonight. And the defense was put in a lot of bad positions with field position and miscues by the special teams, and they were still able to hold their ground. And they just have a knack for coming up with big stops when they need them. So I can't say enough about this Oak Hill defense.
Congratulations once again to Oak Hill as we say good night from John P. Douglas Stadium. Final score, Oak Hill Red Devils 19, Beckley Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagles 14. Thank you for watching on the New River Network. For Darren McGuffin behind the scenes, Chris Rader. Next to me, I'm Lucas Berry. Good night, everyone.